Oh, a test channel maybe.
Yeah, exactly. We're live now.
Okay, now we're live.
Yeah,
Hey,
now we're
everybody. What's going
live.
on, guys?
Now we're live.
Welcome to the very first Lothric Invitational, or the very first Dark Souls 3, I don't know, tournament hitless hosted by us.
Yeah. So I am OG Junkyard. We have Zero Salt Show here as well. And we are, this is the first tournament that we've run. And so we're still kind of getting our bearings a little bit. Your voice is a little bit low compared to OG Junkyard. Let me work on that on my end. And Zero, go for it.
Thank you guys very much for the feedback. It's it's going to be our first time doing this, so it's going to be a little tiny bit of growing pains. So any feedback that y'all have is really super appreciated.
Yeah, make sure and let us know whenever Zero sounds a fair bit like just as loud as I am. I can also turn him up. Actually, you know what? That's exactly what the problem is. I know what the problem is.
Still quiet right now.
Yeah, one sec. All right, Zero, go ahead and talk. Just go on a monologue for a little bit.
I am Zero Salt Show, and this is our audio test for you guys, the viewers of the Lothric Invitational. Valkyrie XXXX, I believe there are resets before Vort. It's actually going to be pretty much identical rule set to if you remember the Wheel of Pog for the Pog League that Jerome was running a while back. The rule set is very close to that. The only real significant difference that I can think of is the allowance of spook for dungeon skip, because at SL1 we can't actually use the dungeon skip.
All right.
So we good?
Yeah, we're good. I figured it out real fast.
How many resets? 3.
Yeah, we're welcoming. We got Achu, we got Leonard, we got Nelski, Skate the Water, Valkyrie. There's gonna be a whole lot more. Ghost, welcome in. Sinedo, welcome in. Membran, Bloss, Backflipius, welcome in. We're gonna pull you in just a second. Backflipius and Vinny Vega. I think I got everybody.
Man, a lot of people here I'd love to see.
Yeah. All right, so let's go ahead and start pulling people in. We're gonna get this thing started up. I'm gonna go ahead and switch over to the main scene. We're gonna turn everybody off real fast. Actually, that's the wrong one. Yeah. I don't know who the fourth runner is. There we go. Actually, that's the wrong one. Let's see. Runners. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Let's go ahead and pull in Vinny and Backflipius and Eden.
All right.
So yeah.
Whoosh.
Vinny, welcome in.
Oh,
hello. Hey, Vinny.
I think you're quite loud, Vinny.
Am I?
Oh yeah. Let me turn you down a little bit.
No.
We got Backflip in here too.
Yeah.
Hello.
What's up?
1 second. Let's level everybody's audio real fast. Vinny, go for it.
Yes. Hello. Testing.
You're very loud. 1 second. Okay. Try again. Vinny, go for it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's way quiet. I think I went overboard with it. All right. One last try.
Hello.
That's much better. Backflipius. Let's go for it.
Ali oxen free to fly, hammered he.
Oh my god, beautiful.
All right, let's give it another shot.
Ali oxen free, Eden holding oxen I oh.
Very good. Eden.
I'm so happy this is our audio test.
Midehondre is a powerhouse of the cell.
Indeed. All right, let's Eden, go for it again.
I don't know any more cool facts, but I'm saying something.
Okay, sounds great. All right. So once again, we've got Backflipius here. We've got Eden Issue. We've got Vinny Vega. And we're about to get started on this thing. We're running a few minutes late, but we're going to give the runners a go-ahead to get started. I'm mostly going to be running things from kind of background. I might chime in here and there, but I'm going to leave it up to these far more knowledgeable souls about Dark Souls 3. because they're all very well versed in doing no-hit runs and challenge runs and things like that. But you might hear
I know stuff.
You know some stuff? That's great.
I know things.
All
How
right.
much stuff do you know, though?
He knows
Probably
a
a
thing
lot
or
more than you.
two about a thing or two.
All right.
And once again, these amazing casters are Vinny Vega, Eden Issue, and Beck Flippius. It is an absolute honor to have you guys here. Thanks for casting.
No
All
problem.
right.
Thank you for having me here.
Okay, so let's go ahead and Zero, do you want to pop into people's streams and let them know that they can go ahead and get started?
School is barely starting a stream.
Yeah, we need to fix a couple things real fast. The names are wrong. The hits are wrong. Everything's wrong.
So we have Dino Distraction Crab on the left here.
Yeah, Dino Singal on the left. I'm fixing that right now. And then we have Kazoodle in the top right. And then we have Squillakilla in the bottom left. Or in the bottom.
So was V-Sweat supposed to run today and then he had to cancel?
Yeah, V-Sweat had to cancel. What ended up happening was that V-Sweat got sick and missed a couple days of work and had to make it up, so he had to make those happen today.
Feel
So,
that.
Too bad indeed. But yeah, we are good to go. We're gonna go ahead and start the clock now. Kazoodle can start. Dinos has already started. Squilla can start whenever.
I'm sure Squilla will catch up.
Yeah, Squilla can catch
He'll
up.
be in moments.
So we're going into the very first. You can see Dino's already going into the very first bit of the very first boss. Right about.
Dino is looking so handsome in his little red bow tie and matching red velvet baseball cap.
I know, right?
I love it, man. Yeah, Dino dresses to impress, man.
I'm gonna be in something more formal as well. And tricky,
Oh.
probably.
Are you guys
So
going for
formal
that
there.
Blues Brothers look or what?
We're going for the German meta. German turnies meta.
The German team.
So are all the Europeans just dressing up to show off us North Americans?
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Okay, what
Standards
about
for
that
you
first
Europeans.
boss? I know it's probably very exciting, but what do we know about this boss? What's the strat for this boss? Do we know?
Well,
Well, not many
mainly
people
just
know this, but this is actually Udex Gunder. Sorry.
what?
I mean,
No way.
Holy.
I don't believe you.
But there's not much strat to him. You smack him a lot, you dodge like 2 attacks, and he's dead.
You just pretty much circle around him. Like the second phase, you want to stay on the left side just to kind of
Yeah,
avoid
just to
everything.
clarify the resets, it's 3 resets before Vault, right?
Yes, I think so. Right?
Yep.
Yeah,
From
it's
what I read.
3 resets before Vord.
Okay.
See.
Yeah.
That's a little bit too much for these guys. These guys are fucking good. Oh, by the way, can we swear? I'm sorry.
Yeah, feel free.
I don't think Eden and I are going to get very far without swearing.
Like, oh shit,
For all
can I?
casters, if
Yeah.
you wanted a PG chat.
Normally, I try not to whenever I'm live, but we're gonna, as long as we're not being super frequent with it, you're totally fine.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so Dino's already made it through. Kazoodle's already made it through. Udex Gundyr. Squilla's doing a little bit of catching up.
Squill's not too far behind.
Well, we got 2 purple guys and 1 orange. Well, Kazuo's got a purple gal. Actually, my bad. I didn't mean to assume gender.
Yeah, they just killed Gandhi basically with all them because it's SL1. We of course we don't need to level up at all. basically entire like cash that they got from killing Gandhi, they spent for firebombs and dagger. Dagger will be very useful in the later part of the game.
And it's also very useful to grab the dagger right away, so you don't have to make a trip back.
Yeah, exactly.
That way,
because
you can just
after
go right
Vault,
to the
after Vault, realistically, you don't fight much. There's really no need to come back, like ever, up until you're gonna fight another next boss.
Right, and this first part, you're mainly just gathering stuff for your upgrades and for Abyss Watchers and such.
I honestly really hate this part between Vault and Abyss Watchers because it's like drawn out collection of items that you need to survive,
and it's definitely very well known in the community that like the first 30 minutes or first 20 at least, you're pretty much just like autopilot.
Hold circle.
Yeah. I don't
just hold circle, push forward on the stick for about 20 to 30 minutes.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, as good as a hit. That's gonna be a reset for him. Yeah, I'm pretty sure for like the first like 30 minutes, I barely look at the screen, to be honest.
Right.
I just becomes your muscle memory.
Yeah.
You have like a quarter eye on the screen while the rest is on chat.
Exactly. Oh, something that changes between S1 and leveled is that in the early game, what Dino is doing right now, he's grabbing the raw gem, which is going to be the main infusion in this run. He's going to put it on probably broadswords. And what raw infusion does is that it gets rid of the scaling on the weapons. However, it gets a lot of bonus damage. And of course, we're not going to level up, so scaling is useless. So we're going to get rid of that, and we're going to get some sweet bonus damage on that.
Yeah, the difference is pretty decent too.
Oh my god, this work of art on Dino's screen. It's absolutely mesmerizing.
I'm digging the green mustache.
I would fall in love with that, man.
So where are they headed right now?
And School just got hit as well.
School just got hit?
So we got one reset for Gazoodle and one reset for Squillo.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Now Dino's getting the broadsword, the main weapon for SL1 in this game. Has a fantastic moveset and really good base damage, which helps with that raw infusion Eden talked about a moment ago.
Yeah, but it doesn't have the best range though. That's the only, like, I would say.
Yeah, it's the only downfall. Like, I can't tell you how many times I've swiped at an enemy or boss, and I'm like, I whiffed.
Yeah.
I mean, you could always try using the Great Scythe.
Well, that's true.
Yeah. The big boy weapon.
That thing can reach you from across the room.
Let's highlight into Gazoodle here. So once again, Udex Gundyr. Pretty easy boss, right?
Yeah. Most of his attacks you can even strafe. The ideal combo would be probably 5 attacks when he's standing up, and the 6th one with Warcry. It will stagger him. Another 2, and after that he's gonna phase transition, and then in the phase transition he cannot really stagger. You can actually miss the stagger, but if you're gonna count your hits, you can stagger him at the start of phase 2 as well, and basically he will probably do like 1 attack throughout the entire fight if you're gonna do it correctly.
During the transform phase itself, you mainly want to just like get your buff back on and stuff. Let me take care of this really quick. I'll be right back.
Yeah, no worries.
No worries.
All right, so we got also Squirrel is going into Udex Gundyr. Hopefully it ends up pretty well.
I can assure that for most of these runners, Yadix is not even really a boss. He's just like another mob on the way.
Okay. Now tell us about Vort.
Vault can actually be pretty tricky, I would say. I think I can hear myself, by the way. I don't know why. It throws me off.
Oh, sorry. Maybe it's me. I don't know.
Yeah. So basically, you're trying to prep him to the phase 2, and at the start of phase 2, every time he's gonna do this charge, very characteristic. And at the end of this charge, you can stagger him, and then riposte him, which will result in a lot of damage and basically not seeing in phase 2. Basically, like most of the Hitless strats will go around trying to basically skip some phases on the attacks.
I don't mean to interrupt, but are you echoing off of somebody?
Yeah, of
It's off
Junkyard.
of
That's what I said.
Junkyard, so
Oh, it's
it at
mine?
least shouldn't be coming through the stream. But yeah, it's coming through your microphone, Junkie.
Weird. One
So I
sec.
think Josh needs to be turned up a bit. I can barely hear him when he speaks.
Yeah.
1 second.
Thank you guys for bearing with us through the little bit of growing pains as we get started here. Okay, so Dino is actually locked in now, as he has just beat Vort.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
All right. Is
So
that
no
any
more
better?
resets for Dino.
1 2 1 2.
I don't think so.
No.
1 2 1 2. I cannot hear myself, so that's good.
I can hear Eden now. He's fine, but I think Josh needs to be turned up a bit.
Okay.
Flippy, have you already turned me up in Discord? Or are you talking about through the
yeah,
stream?
I see what's going on here. Go ahead and keep talking.
Oh, hi guys. So it looks like Kazoodle is getting very close to Vort as well. Also, where is just keeping tabs on where everybody's at right now? Where is Squilla right now? Okay, he's still in high wall.
In high wall.
Squilla's
All right,
playing cat and
so-
mouse with this little hollow because he had them prematurely.
Yeah. That hollow, man. One time I was dropping down and he was already in like a running stab attack and stabbed me as I was dropping. Like, he's a sneaky fella.
He really is. Okay, so it seems like we're doing okay on the audio stuff now. Everything's sounding good to me. I don't know about you guys.
I turned you up just a little bit more.
All right, sweet. And guys in the chat, feel free to, continue letting us know if there's anything we need to, if we need to fix with the audio or the overlay or anything like that. Really appreciate y'all's help.
So yeah, and Dino. To be honest, very uncharacteristic of him because I know he likes to take his time, but his ahead. But the resets and stuff. I know they like to take the time, especially Zoodle and Dino, but I cannot see them take more than 3 hits. In my opinion, they are very good at the game. Recently, both of them actually got this run as the one Albasa's main game in like a last 4 days, something like that.
I know that Dino got it Thursday. Was there Thursday?
I think Zulu got it first, right? And then Dino got it like day after.
So I know this was Dino's. That was Dino's first SL1 all bosses. Was that a first for Kazoodle as well?
Yes, in both of cases, yes.
Oh, very cool. So they've been working hard in preparation, and they were
I think
very,
Zulu
very,
got
very
any
quick in
percent
getting it.
and Albasa the same day.
Nice.
That's true. They really good at this game.
It's always a good feeling when you're going for any percent, then you just get all boss. It's like, oh,
Yeah,
bonus.
pull hard.
May as well go for it. It's only 6 bosses, 2 of which are early game.
Yeah.
Oh, we have Kazoodle doing Vort with the club, actually.
Interesting.
It was pretty legit.
Maybe he dislikes the... Yeah, the damage is literally 1 less, I think, or 2 less. And its stack is better.
Yeah.
So if you fancy that, hell yeah.
So what's risky about this fight?
I would say, especially if you're gonna miss the stagger at the start of phase 2, at the start of phase 2, that can be pretty risky. Also, there's this one little bug at the start of phase. I mean, is that really a bug? If he's gonna, the back of Volt is gonna be against the wall at the start of phase 2. Like we all know this charge at the start of phase 2. Sometimes it might just become instant, and you will not see it coming.
It could also be instant if you're standing on his side by his back leg, and if you're too close to him, his hitbox will hit you as well.
Yeah, the boss then thinks like you're in the front of him or something.
And there's like some memes where he can stick his head inside of a wall, or if you're not too careful, you can actually, if you swing too many times, you can stagger him early, and then you just instantly have to deal with phase 2.
Yep.
Yeah, that almost happened to Squilla there. He got a little stagger on Vort right there while Vort was doing the Frost Breath, and almost had to deal with a little bit of phase 2, but Vort was so close to death it didn't really matter.
Yeah, but I also think that's the strat that Skull is just using. He's been grinding S1 speedruns for like the past couple of weeks, and this is actually a good strat because, of course, you want to kill the boss ASAP, and you don't want him to charge at all. So you probably just wail on them.
Yeah,
Okay.
so muscle memory from speedrunning, definitely. So, like I said, Squill's going to catch up to the runners, even though I started later.
Yeah, definitely. I wonder if he's
Yeah,
gonna do
he's
the-
always been a faster runner, and especially with him grinding out that SL1 speed run.
Yeah, I wonder if he's gonna do early Greatwood. I want to see that.
Mhm.
Splits indicate
Oh
actually,
yeah,
Greatwood's
right.
later on his splits, so I don't think we're gonna see early Greatwood,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
So he's playing it safe. He might have a little muscle memory for speedrunning, but not that much.
Yeah.
So
Every runner is going this very traditional route, which means gets like a let me see exactly. Yeah, let's get the upgrades ASAP. Ellie Dancer with +7. Get to +9. The rest of the boss will pretty much melt
mhm.
with +9, even though it's SO1.
And what's funny is like with like +9 broadsword, raw infusion, SO1, it's like actually better damage than my first playthrough.
It's actually optimized.
Exactly.
Oh, the Jerome branch from Dino. Actually, I don't know. Did Jerome find that? I'm pretty sure he did.
I think so. The one past the Outrider Knight. So Jerome gave me shit for this because I showed him a clip where it didn't work, and apparently because I was drinking my green tea while passing this column here, I was going straight across it instead of back to the wall. So he aggroed on me.
Oh,
So, yeah.
so there is a finesse in that.
Yes. Absolutely.
So what does the white branch do exactly?
It decreases aggro range, and it also makes you like disguised as whatever's in the area, essentially.
If you're not moving at all, enemies won't notice you, and if you are moving, it decreases the aggro range substantially. So with this specific branch strategy that Dino just used, as long as you hug that wall closely, you can slip right past this Outrider Knight and not have to dodge him. And these Outrider Knights are some of the most dangerous enemies in no-hit runs.
I would say he's the #1 reset point in early game.
Yes, absolutely.
For me, at least.
Main reason why I made a split called Vort's Bastard Son, because of that Outrider Knight.
Guys, all you have to do is learn to parry him.
Oh, Josh flexing over here.
I'm a passing that, Chief.
But another reason to use the white branch too is he has 2 attacks that are very easy to dodge, but there's one attack where he has a very, very quick startup that can be hard to avoid.
Yeah, basically almost instant.
So it's actually really cool because there are 2 separate AI loops on like for parrying that both of the Outrider Knights. It's really, really cool and really, really cozy once you kind of like get it down. But the use case is non-existent unless you're doing a meme run, which I wouldn't know anything about.
Josh with the esoteric knowledge here.
And Josh has also given us the sales pitch, you know, why we should parry him.
Parry Vort's Bastard right now.
Wait, can you parry Vort?
No, I doubt that.
I don't think so.
His
I know
club
you
is like
can-
3 times your size. I can't see that. See,
You can
parry DSA.
you could repost Dancer, by the way.
oh yeah, you do. Yeah, that's true. But you have to hit her like in the head, which on the originals we will not see. There's specific strat and no hits for Dancer.
Yeah. Pretty dangerous to be in front of her unless you're planning on getting hit.
Also, we can see that I don't know if every runner will do it, but Dino is doing this right now. He's taking a little detour. He's running again like past the Vold's Bastard Son again up the tower to get 2 rings that will help him in the future, which is Flynn's ring and Clonophy rings.
And
It's really
Flynn's ring
convenient in this path that there's 2 skulls on the way, and you need 2 skulls to get past the dogs and evangelists there. So it's kind of like a net zero on skulls, and 2 very good rings, especially for SL1.
It's almost like
I think
they
it's a lot of
planned it that
bones,
way.
actually. Like, 3?
Yeah, I think
what?
it's 3 on that corner there they just picked up.
Speaking of
It
rings, is there any benefit to getting the covetous Silver Serpent ring at SL1?
Not really, because you gain plenty of souls for the things you need to buy anyway.
No, absolutely
Yeah,
not.
if you're not leveling, you've got all the souls you need for what, fire bombs? What else are you really buying? Weapon upgrades.
Weapon
That's all you.
buffs.
And it's very satisfying to just go into menu. Oh, I need 2 bones. Buys 221.
Yeah, I
Just
purposely
stock
buy
up, man. What else are you spending your money on?
I purposely
Yeah.
buy like 20 or 30 my first trip back just because I can.
So I can actually think of one case where you would go and get the covetous Silver Serpent ring, and it's so after deacons, if you spend all of your souls on buffs, and you forget that you need to get the key to go up into the tower for patches, then you
That
go
never
scrounging
happened
around
to
Firelink
anyone.
for
What
things
are
to
you
sell for
talking about?
souls. And Silver Serpent ring just so happens to be one of those things you can sell.
Josh got like the backdoor knowledge here.
Again, not that I would know about that or anything. I've never made that mistake.
Yeah, absolutely. No, everybody does it perfectly, and nobody forgets to not buy something or whatever they have to do. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, but going, going up the rafters of the Firelink is actually the part of the route, because you want to exchange. Squelch did it a moment ago. You gotta exchange bomb and the black fire bomb and the black fire bomb for large titanite shot and titanite chunk, which is exactly what you need.
If you're not leveling, you really need those weapon upgrades, and that's a really great place to get early large shard and chunk.
Exactly, yeah.
And that chunk makes it so, like, especially if you're going to the lake, you have the exact amount that you need to upgrade the +9 after Dancer.
Yeah.
There
And
are
that's like
some
before, right?
alternatives. There are some alternatives to that, though. Like, for example, you could buy a bunch of fire bombs, and then you can kill the +1 hollow that's by the DSA fight. You get chunks out of that as well. 2 chunks, actually.
So one thing I want to call out real fast is if anybody's getting hit, one thing that would really help us as the organizers running this thing is if you could send any clips to either Zero Salt Show or myself, OG Junkyard, that would be tremendously helpful.
Yeah, in the last years, there were actually a lot of route variations. People started playing with how to optimize for speeds, and there's a lot of comfy routes. I would say this one is the comfiest. You get the most damage, but also it takes a lot of time, which, in my opinion, the reset environment is not the best thing, because it's for me it's way easier to resist the urge of smacking the desk after hour than 2, for example,
Yeah, exactly. So that's another good reason for optimizing for speed. So the resets for early game aren't quite as severe as for mentioned earlier with the long trek in the beginning. We're just mainly holding the circle button.
Squilla as well as getting Chloranthy and Flynn's ring. Did Kazoodle get those rings?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, yeah. I would say so.
Okay, so everybody's going for that.
So question.
Zoodle's actually pretty speedy too. Oh, go ahead.
How far behind is Squilla compared to Dino and Kazoodle?
Like 3 minutes, 4 minutes tops, I would say.
Yeah, roughly. Because when he warps back, he's going to be right in there, basically.
And Dino's like 1 or 2 minutes ahead of Kazoodle here.
Yeah, this was fairly early reset.
Dino threw a skull for those Groots right there because he wants to those Grus, I should say. Now he's going around, so he doesn't have to fight the other Gru at that fire.
Yeah,
This
God
is
bless
like,
for this route. Yeah.
Yeah, this it's not necessarily a time save, but like I said, anything that you don't have to fight on your no-hit run means that you're not going to get hit, guaranteed. So it's definitely better to do this option.
And yeah, I was talking about the dagger. Dagger is really useful in this place in Cathedral because of the weapon arts. Everywhere around this area is like in the very thick mud covered, and the weapon arts of the dagger allow you to actually quick step through the mud, and you don't have to slow roll through it. Zulu is doing this right now. Actually, he's gonna go towards the last flame, and he's gonna use the weapon arts, and basically that's it. That's what is it for.
And like Eden said, he's going to the last flame. So this is what's called like the reverse swamp method. So forward swamp would be a little bit more dangerous for no hits, but this is a little bit more comfy.
Yeah, a little bit slower, but way more safer.
Honestly, this is the way I found my way through the swamp the first time. I just thought this was the developer intended way through.
Nice.
When I started running this game, I get lost in this place so many times.
Oh yeah.
I mean, hell, I still don't know like the back of my hand. Like there's still parts of the swamp that I'm like, if I go there, I'm probably not going to be able to find my way back.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just know the path through. Like, it's amazing how many hours you can put into these games and know absolutely nothing outside of just the narrow paths you know.
That is true. I very often get the question, hey, what is the best weapon? I'm like, what I'm going to sell? Twin blades? I'm saying the truth. Much. What is your favorite weapon? I don't know. I did one playthrough.
I've just done one playthrough hundreds of times.
Yeah. Also, what is Dino doing right now is he's grabbing the Dream Chasers ashes, which these are ashes that allow you to buy rest of the Titanite shots in the file link. Because some of them that are on the way are pretty like dangerous or out of the way. So and also on again, you don't really need money, so you can buy them however much you want.
Yeah, you're hood rich, man. You can just buy whatever.
I mean, it's not too bad getting Titanite along the way, but it's actually even just faster as well to grab Dream Chaser's ashes rather than having to do. It's one major detour instead of like a dozen minor detours.
Not to mention you got the next Titanite as well, the large shards.
Yeah, and also
large shards here, so you can be +4 for Abyss Watchers.
Yeah, also I think you get some ashes. No, not ashes. Resins. You can buy unlimited resins. I think. No, not unlimited. You get a couple of resins, but not.
You get fire resin, I believe. Well, that
was the other ashes from Settlement.
Yeah, Settlement's the fire ashes.
Ashes. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. We don't know shit about this game.
I know that green blossoms. You get green blossoms from Dream Chaser's ashes.
Oh yeah,
that's pretty useful.
Correct on that. Yeah, especially when you're on base stamina, those blossoms really help with the regen.
And all of that trudging for the mud and all these equipment is gonna be for the next spot, which is gonna be Abyss Watches. Honestly, I really enjoyed this fight. I know people say it's RNG and stuff, but I really do enjoy it. It's just
actually,
cool, you know?
Last time I was doing SO1, you can actually kill them like super hella fast if you do the right strategy. I believe it's you go for a backstab, you unlock for just a split second, strong R2, and then you R1 right away. You do that twice, and then the boss is dead on each space.
Yeah, that's true, because plus for broadswords, raw is very comparable, if not better than sharp twin blades at that point. I would say that better, straight up.
Yeah, you can actually kill them faster than twin blades, honestly.
Yeah.
Okay, so I just want to point out that both Dino and Squilla got first try tree skip.
Nice.
So pressure is on Kazoodle. If he does not get first try tree skip, I think we are invoking the Anya rule of 1 hit per missed tree jump.
I was just about to mention
yeah.
Anya, right? You beat me to it, backflip.
The Anya rule.
So just how hard is the tree skip or tree jump?
When you first learn it feels like another boss.
Yeah, when you're first learning it, but I mean, once you get it down, it's a fairly simple thing.
Yeah.
Not too bad to get consistent if you really care about that, like for speed purposes, but no, it's not that bad.
Yeah, ever so often you'll miss a couple times, but it's pretty straightforward.
So what does tree jump allow you to do?
So first things first, it's allow you to exchange the black firebomb and the firebomb that I mentioned, and also allow you to get 3 bones, I think, on the way, and silver serpent if you really need it. Which boosts your souls intake by like 10%, I think.
Exactly.
And for caster runs, you want to get up there early because there's an Estus Flask shard, which will give you another Ashen Estus usage.
That's true.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Basically, it allows you to get on that whole roof area. Normally, you're not able to get up there until you buy the tower key for 20,000 souls.
Exactly.
But with the tree jump, you can go up there really early and get access to that stuff right at the beginning of the game.
Even for SO1, 20k souls in the beginning of the game is unobtainable, pretty much. Safely.
Pretty much not obtainable until Abyss Watchers give 20k, so at that point. But anything before then, like, you would have to be grinding or something.
Yeah, true. And Dino slowly but surely going to Abyss Watcher fights. I love Abyss Watcher's fight, but I hate this run-up. Those damn dark rates and grooves.
Also, it's kind of funny, like with no-hit runs. Like you remember on your first playthroughs, like you'll have trouble with a boss, and like you're like, all right, well, I need the grind for these souls so I can level up more or whatever, like that. That's like when you get the no-hit runs, like you realize like you actually don't need to grind at all.
Oh my god, we've just seen 3 runners do tree jump perfectly first try.
God.
Man, and they're all 0
hits.
Now I absolutely expect 0 hits from all of them at the same time. It's freeway tie. But yeah, talking about Abyss Watcher's fight, it's not very in depth. You just gotta fish for backsteps to the main Abyss Watchers, because how this fight works, you have this one main Abyss Watchers, which has this HP bar at the bottom. This one fake Abyss Watchers, which is gonna chase you, and there's another Abyss Watcher with red eyes, usually called Red, very originally, but he can help you. He will actually aggro to both you and to the Abyss Watchers that you fight. So
he's sort of like
he
a
can be
double
very
agent.
good distraction. Yeah.
Like sometimes he'll get up and no matter if you're like near him, he'll just go right after you for some reason. But once he like gets close to one of the other Abyss Watchers or the other one hits them, they just start going at each other, like you see here right now.
Okay, so can someone explain why everyone circles this arena clockwise instead of counterclockwise?
Because of the movesets of Abyss Watchers, it's easier to do it clockwise because the swords are in the right hand, and usually it will like it's just easier to dodge this way.
The weapon art from the Abyss Watchers basically is designed to roll catch you if you roll to the left of them. So
yeah,
or it's a lot easier to make it whip if you're going into the.
Dino was in a really tight situation.
Oh, you see that? There. That was a traitorous Reds going right after Dino.
Oh man.
Okay, so
I feel like I'm at fault now.
Red is not your friend. He's just an enemy of everyone. He just hates everyone.
Is that the big risk
neutral?
Yeah, he doesn't discriminate. So Dino was he did manage to get the aggro with that firebomb. Like he did get his attention. But like sometimes he'll like sidestep and you'll just straight miss him.
Yeah.
So has Dino taken any hits so far?
Not yet.
It was close, but no.
One close call, but he pulled it out like a pro.
So as you see, the opening of second phase, Dino threw a firebomb, and this is to aggro him earlier, because otherwise he'll like kind of slow step towards him. Now, one thing that can be dangerous if you are in the spawn point of phase 2, what will happen is he'll aggro on you immediately, and that usually will end up in a hit if you're not ready for it.
Exactly, yeah. And
Yeah,
phase
Zoot will
2,
not. Go ahead.
yeah, I won't say that phase 2 is, in my opinion, at least way easier. There's not many memes that can happen, but you just fish for backstabs, and 2 or 3 will do the job, usually.
The
Sure was-
moveset gets a little more expanded and a little more dangerous, but you don't have the whole multi-enemies to worry about. You can just focus on the one Abyss Watcher, so phase 2 is definitely the time to relax.
And right now he's baiting. Oh, he was a little close to him there. He was going to jump, but instead he decided to do a slam down. Actually, wait, this is phase 1. What am I talking about? And right now, Kazuto's getting rid of the other guy just to get him out of the way.
Yeah.
If Red and the main Abyss Watcher are fighting, sometimes you'll just look for openings on the clone, just get him out of the way so that you can have some alone time with the main man.
Yeah, exactly. Get some Netflix and chill going.
Yeah. And Squall is approaching Abyss Watchers as well.
And he's not far behind at all. Dino just beat Abyss Watchers. Kazuto is in the middle of phase 1, and Squill's in there.
Yeah, they're doing very well.
And Dino is lobbing firebombs at rats, clearing out the sewers.
Yep.
So there's 3 rats here, and there's one that's like right where he just dropped. And there's also Big Rat Brenda behind him.
Yeah.
And also another rat next to Big Rat Brenda. You don't want to aggro Big Rat Brenda.
Yeah, you don't. Fun fact, on the PlayStation 4, which I used to run any percent, there are only 2 rats there.
Oh,
Really?
you're right, actually.
Yeah, they just doesn't
Or not have the processing power for the third rat?
Literally, yeah. And from my experience, there are differences in the running sections as well between, for example, in Cathedral, there are slight changes.
Oh, do you feel like you had an advantage playing on PlayStation 4?
No, but I legitimately, when I started playing on PC, I was like, wow, how do people get hit in this game? Playing on 16 FPS?
Yeah, when you're playing no hit runs on console, especially if it's on Xbox, oh my god, watching Bree go through the dancer fight was, oh man.
Oh god,
it's like Marine training for no hit runs once you get to PC.
Yeah. Also, Dino is in his way for the very clutch ring. Sometimes very helpful, sometimes very not helpful. But he's going for the ring that increases your iframes on the roll, gives you a couple of additional iframes at the very tail end of it, and sometimes it can save your ass really, really well.
with this blood ring, what bosses would you say this ring is most useful on? I know it's very useful for Cinder for a few things he does.
I would say for Cinder, for Princess, for Nameless in this run, a little bit for Cyrus. Yeah, that would be
Yeah,
my main.
Osiris, yeah, definitely.
That would be my main.
I'm actually really excited to see Distraction Crab fight Osiris because
yeah,
he was basically making it so this is something I played around with myself as well. If you keep your distance, you can actually see the charge coming. There's still a little bit of like there's a slight delay, but you have to be like on point still because he does come at you fast still.
Yeah, that's true.
And Squillet does not firebomb the rats. He just jumps right on past them and runs. So definitely seeing the whole speedrun strats that he's been working on lately.
This is also an OG strat as well, where you just like let the ball kill the rats, basically.
Yeah. It's way safer with firebombs, obviously, but this works.
When you're as good as Squilla, man. Yeah. And he's pretty much caught up to the others.
Yeah, everyone's at the same spot exactly.
Kazoodle's just getting whatchamacallit, the Karthus Blood Ring now.
So the
And let's see if Squilla goes for it.
So the Karthus Blood Ring adds iframes, and wearing that ring gives you a good advantage with certain attacks where you would otherwise get roll caught.
Oh my god. I was watching Zoodle almost getting
seen that
pulled by the slime.
That stupid freaking blob.
Backstabbing blob, dudes.
Yeah, he'll get you. Like, you know, if you don't notice him dropping down and you come back from the Karthus Blood Ring, he'll just like jab you around the corner.
Or if you're having any problems with the skeletons at all, he can move a bit into your path and end up getting you where you normally wouldn't have to deal with him.
Also, what Dino is doing right now, he can go and fight Vol right now. He has full access to it, but he prefers to get +7 before him. And how to get +7? You have to go to the Smoldering Lake, which has a lot of large Titanite shards on the way. And, well, I personally hate going there. I really hate dealing with Ballista, but you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah,
it's definitely fine once you get used to it.
It's definitely good for new runners, especially when you're doing a leveled character. But like, you know, for optimized speed, you want to definitely go +4 route if you're like leveling.
Yeah, yeah.
But for SL1, it's definitely a safe bet to go +7 earlier.
Exactly. And makes Volney a piece of cake.
So where
I think it's a difference a couple of hits. Yes, please continue.
So where is Dino? What's the big risk here?
Ballista basically, and also big.
You can see it right there. This giant ballista that overwatches the entire lake that shoots these bolts at you. You really have to watch and listen for. It's a pretty regular rhythm that you can get into, but definitely dangerous if you're not paying attention. And also off to the left, if he goes for it, if he goes for the large shards over there, there's a giant sandworm that is purported to be Solaire that combined with the ballista can be dangerous, but can also be killed by the ballista.
Yeah,
Solaire with ballista. Imagine that.
But like the rule of thumb for the ballista is it shoots 3 bolts at a time, and it takes 3 seconds no matter where you are in the arena to land or hit a tree, whatever's in its path. So, fun fact.
Yeah.
And Squilla just killed Volnir.
Exactly. As I said, on +4, it's probably saves like 2 to 3 hits, I would say. It's not that big of a deal. It's mostly comfort.
I think
and now he's going to the Smoldering Lake, grabbing the parts, probably grabbing the bonfire for ODK, and we good to go.
Yeah. So you can technically skip Smoldering Lake here, but the issue would be Pontiff, because +4 raw broadsword Pontiff is really, really tight.
It's super precise. Like I've done it before, and I think that might have been one of the reasons why I went back to the lake, just because it's like such an easy, comfy fight. But
that is true. Plasnite broadsword and Plasnite Windblades, basically, it's no difference.
Yeah, practically no difference. You're still skipping phase 2, and you're killing them before the Phantom comes out.
Exactly. But so far so good. Early game is basically done. No hits, and this game is very known for early game memes, so damn, all of them are doing flawlessly. I think also Squilla skipped the iframe ring.
I can't see the icon. He did not go for Karthus Blood Ring.
Again, if you're very comfy with the game,
a lot of time.
Yeah, if you're very comfy with the game, you can obviously skip it. I think there is only one punish in the game that you literally cannot do if you don't have this ring, which is in Nameless King fights. But other than that, if you're comfy, if you know how to roll, hell yeah.
Yeah, he's been grinding the SL1 speed run, so I imagine he's pretty much used to the standard iframes. And
yeah.
Now, something to be aware of is you can actually get hit by that bug that Kazoodle just ran past. It's happened to a few runners. So
The
I'm happy
ob
to see
hit.
that everybody made it past without incident.
Yeah, if you're gonna path it incorrectly and it's gonna run up the, it basically like it's stuck against the wall, but it can also run up against the wall and fall on you, causing the stagger, which will result in an outgrind and resets consecutively.
And
Also-
Dino turning the sound off on the game for this part because this whole part with the ballista killing the worm is so loud.
Oh
It
yeah,
really is.
between the worm screaming and the ballista itself, it's very, very loud.
It takes like
The
a minute to
fabled
kill.
worm scream skip.
Someone gotta figure this one out.
Exactly. You know, your scream skip is always your volume now. Remember that, guys.
So next up, it looks like I'm looking at. So this actually is a spot where the runners' routes actually diverge a little bit. We see Kazoodle's going to be going to Dancer, and Squilla's going over to Sage. And I actually don't know where Dino's going because his split names are
I'm pretty sure
amazing.
Squilla did not kill Dancer yet. I think it's a
Oh, you know what? I was absolutely misreading that.
And he's going
Yeah,
to
Alright, they're
Dancer.
exactly the
He'll
same.
be going
Everyone
to
I get-
Dancer after this, but
yeah, everyone are doing very early upgrades.
So Squilla is like the only one who's still doing the old school strat. This is what he used to do back in the day, and he still does. It's pretty safe, but a lot of new runners really have trouble like getting used to the strat. You basically have to wait for the worm to like kind of like sigh in a way, to where it's not going to do lightning at the same time that the ballista ends.
Yeah, I really dislike this strats. I figured out something for my own. I know there's actually so many strats for this place that is like you don't have to dodge anything, but it's longer. I figured out something for myself. There's this strat. There's so many.
Oh
things.
yeah, there's like 3 or 4 different strats.
I feel like every runner has to figure out the smoldering lake for themselves because some people's things may not really work for you.
And also, if you're running directly horizontal from the ballista will miss you as well.
yeah, that's actually the way I run it. I do the approach that Couch Jockey and Olean developed, where you just run straight at the worm. There's
From
like
the
a
tree.
specific path you run, and you get the worm out of the way first. And yeah, that relies on running horizontal to the ballista as you're running in at the worm, so that those first shots whiff when you're going in there.
It's pretty comfy. Yeah.
Also, Kazula got bored of killing the Solar, so he just ran away.
He just run away. Good time for a bathroom break, definitely, when you're killing the worm.
Yeah. Squilla going to Dancer and Dina going to Volney. Both with +7. They definitely gonna destroy their opponents. Actually, +7 Dancers is like a decent fight. It's pretty long too.
It's like a nice mid range where you
Yeah,
still get
yeah.
a nice piece of the fight, but it's not too long either. And if you fight Dancer later with the whatchamacallit ring.
Ordering?
What's that?
Lloyd Swordring?
Yeah,
ring?
Lloyd's
Talking about
ring.
Lloyd Swordring?
Yeah, if you get that 10% boost damage with +7, it's actually quite the difference for that fight.
Volney is a pretty straightforward fight. You see the shiny, you hit the shiny, he dies. It's really not that big
And
of a
there's
deal.
no rolling needed. You just position yourself correctly and every single slam will miss. The only thing you need to watch out for is if he summons skeletons or goes for his sword.
Exactly, yeah. Because if he's gonna pull out the swords, it's his movement changes a little bit. His hitboxes become very ridiculous, and also, of course, if he's gonna summon the
Oh my god, are you guys
scalies,
seeing what School is doing with Dancer here?
Oh, he's doing the speedrun strat where you walk behind
just
her.
running
roll
right
left.
behind her for the phase transition. How tight is that window? Like, how close do you need to be?
I would say it's pretty tight. It's pretty decent.
If you veer too far to the right or left, you're gonna get smacked. So you really got to be, on the booty.
Yeah,
Well, I'm making such short work of Dancer there.
exactly.
And
Also, Dino is getting. Yeah, I want to say that Dino is getting the additional ring, the Pontiff Rights.
Yeah, right
it's the
eye.
right eye.
Right. It basically boosts your damage in consecutive hits. It's very good with Two Blades. A little worse with Broadsword, but it's still pretty helpful. A little bit helpful.
But like certain situations where you're gonna punish more, like Pontiff, for instance.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
It does benefit you in that aspect when you do get those extra hits.
It goes up to what, 15% extra damage?
I believe that's where it caps. I think it like doubles. So I think it's like 3% or somewhere around there, and then 7, then 15. I don't know the exact numbers, but I know it caps after a certain amount.
I know it's extra, but initial boost is 3%, then 5, then max out at 10. That's what it says.
Okay, so only 10%, but still, every little bit of damage you can boost, every little edge you can get, especially for SL1.
And if you stack that 10% with like Lloyd's ring or something, or RTSR with the 20%, you get 30% up to,
Now, I know
Okay, so I noticed Kazoodle's using the Grass Crest shield, but Dino and the Squilla aren't. Is that because they get extra damage from Flynn's ring if they don't equip any extra equipment?
It might be that, but also it might be because they play offline. If you're gonna pick up Grass Crest Shield, you're automatically getting invaded by Hazel in the Crucifixion Woods, and you either have to run to Sage, or you have to run to Abyss Watchers. There's no in between. You cannot quit out. You cannot use Bone. You cannot use Bonfires.
That's only if you're playing online, right?
Right. Yeah. But Zula is playing offline,
Yeah.
so he got the shield.
I want to say Squill is playing offline too, so
I would assume everyone was, but
maybe he was just doing it for speed purposes.
Maybe too.
You don't. I do find that you don't necessarily need the Grass
If
Crest.
you're going, if you're going for Chlorophy ring, it's the boost is a little bit better, and you don't have this additional weight on you, but it also takes up the ring slots.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's up to the preference, honestly.
Yeah, exactly.
So, question.
Let's see if Dino goes for the speed strat on phase 2 Dancer.
What is the point of playing offline?
Basically, that's what I said. Basically, you don't want to get very scripted invasions. They are not real players. These are NPC invaders, but they can be pretty annoying in some cases. For example, in Airfield's dungeon, when you're gonna screw up the cycle on the giant, you have to bone out, and you cannot bone out because you have this goddamn NPC. And also, it's, as I said, it allows you to pick up the shield, and also not much more. It's not very that useful. If you're like very good with running sections, it's not that big of a deal. The biggest, the biggest thing is the Grass Crest Shield, I would say. And
yeah, if you like to get the Grass Crest Shield, you definitely have a better advantage. It saves you time going to Sage Room to bone out. And for the jailers, at the very beginning of your Earthfield dungeon, one jailer might not walk across the bridge. That could cause an issue with dealing with the other invader.
Yeah.
I did figure out a way to deal with that, but it's very, very tight. Like you have to basically like double backstab like right away. Otherwise, you're going to get stared at, and they'll drain your life with their eyes.
Also, another reason why runners are killing Dancer that early, which is pretty early. Well, usually people would kill in the first playthroughs. They would kill Dancer after Earful parts.
Unless their chat tells them to kill Emma.
Yeah, normally Dancer would be the fourth to last boss. It's
exactly.
Dancer, then Dragon Slayer Armor, Princess, and Cinder. So in the normal game progression, she would be a late game boss, and you can see that with the number of souls you get from her. It's like double what you would get from Yorm or Aldrich.
Yeah.
But going this way allows you to get extra Titanite chunks, which can get you the +9, and also the red tier stone ring.
Exactly. Also, the strat for Dancer, this one little thing that is very important in Dancefied, which is positioning. And both phases, you would like to position yourself behind her right thigh, because then her moveset is very, very limited. Actually, the attacks that she can do when you're up front of her are quite ridiculous. They are like combos that last like 10 seconds.
Especially in phase 2, like the one attack in particular, because basically designed to roll catch you if you're in front of her.
Yeah, exactly. And in both phases, if you're gonna stick to your right thigh and you're gonna keep your tabs on what she's gonna do, then the fight is way easier, basically.
And one important thing to note too in first phase, you don't want to go too far to the left thigh because she can do a quick swipe back, and it's very
to the
very
left
fast.
side. Yeah, that's true as well.
But you can be a little bit more liberal in second phase. You can be a little bit more behind her if you want to.
Yeah. Also, another thing with Dancer is that she's moving constantly during the fight, and you cannot really control her position as well. There is one attack that you can bait her out to go one way. However, it's not very common. And also, well, you can sometimes end up between, for example, a dancer and a column in the corner of the room, and you're like, I'm in trouble.
Yeah, sometimes you just got to deal with that, as opposed to the alternative, which you can get, attacked easily by something that will roll catch you, or if something you're not exactly prepared for, especially if you don't know the moveset very well.
Let's take a moment to appreciate the work of art that is Dino's character.
Really is.
It's a lovely, lovely man. I might be switching
Look
teams.
at the pegs, though. Oh my god! Look at this back. I want to have that back.
Right?
Do you think it's a spray tan or a real tan?
I think that might be one of like the not spray tan, but like there's actually a procedure you can have done where you'll get like a permanent tan, like a skin coloration thing, and I think that's what he's got going on. I think he's committed to life for that look.
He went to the cheap plastic surgeon though, so that's why it's so orange.
Dino's character is sparing no expense here at looking absolutely fabulous.
So this is a pretty straightforward route. This is pretty much you pretty much have to take care of the archers and that guy right there to grab these 2 chunks here, and then you have those hollows trying to jump you.
Exactly.
The rest, it kind of differs between the runners. Some people choose to kill the shield and spear guy. Some people will choose not to. Depends on the runner.
Now, I don't know if any of y'all saw it, but did we notice anybody picking up the twin blades on their way to the Farroncoal? Or no, I don't think anybody did, but I'm curious to see if anybody will use the twin blades.
I wanted to use the twin blades, honestly, but I don't think it's very worth it. In
Really?
80%. Yeah.
Oh, but
it's
like
very good
content
for like
ability.
free bosses, but if we were doing DLC, for DLCs they are great.
Really?
Yeah.
I would think with how much they rely on scaling that they wouldn't be, but they're still good for which bosses are they good for?
Mostly fights that are very long, like Demon Princess, Midair. They're very excellent at. Most also Pontiff works way better with Twin Blades. And also there's another thing. On SL1, we don't use Raw Gem on Twin Blades. We still use Sharp because even at 18 decks, we need to remember that this is a very high scaling. It's A, and it will with +10 it will do more damage than Twin Blades, than
Wait,
Broadswords.
so do you get Milk Ring then?
Yeah, you get Milk Ring, Hunters, and then you can wheel them, and then 2 ring starts are up to you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's ironic that the Sharp Gem actually gives you more damage than Raw in the case of Twin Blades. As far as like not leveling.
Yep. Also, Squall just boned out, I think, from Sage fights. I think something went wrong.
He was in there just a second ago. I don't know what happened there.
Maybe he messed up the transition. Again, in Crystal Sage fights, we're trying to get the we're trying to skip phase 2 because it's it gets pretty
Which has the
ridiculous.
worst
There's,
phase 2.
Yeah, there's a lot of copies of Crystal Sage. Every single one is attacking you, and it's literal hell. So what
He
you're trying
gets
to
3
do?
clones out, everything spamming spells at once. It's a bad time for no hit.
Exactly. So what we're trying to do is basically, depending on the strats, but we can definitely, and with +9, you can skip this phase pretty effortlessly.
So basically, the way the phase transition works is once Sage has taken anywhere, it's somewhere between 1088 damage and 1100 damage. He will do an automatic teleport that is uninterruptible and will start phase 2. So the idea is to do just a little bit less damage than that.
Oh, wow, that
and
was so
then
close.
do a parry and riposte, and a few more hits to finish before the phase 2 triggers.
Exactly, yeah.
So right now, School just hit Sage once, and now he's looking at the crystals. The crystals will tell you where Sage is going to be. It's easier to tell in first phase. I have a little spot there. There's a circle of dirt in front of that first spawn, and Squilla does take care of him. GG.
Easy.
Yeah. Honestly, it's one Crystal Sage. It might seem like a joke, but it's one of those sleeper bosses that you will get hit on as long as you not understand it. You gotta learn a couple of things about him.
Yeah, exactly. Like Sage can actually be pretty complicated and difficult in certain
I would
situations.
say he's one of the most complicated bosses, like not mechanic wise, but like how to understand him. It's very uncommon for DS3 actually, because for most of the DS3 bosses, they're like, "Hey, I gotta learn this attack and dodge it." Whereas you have Sage, and you have so much going on in that one.
Learning the mechanics of where he goes and when he teleports.
Yeah, it's pretty trivialized on these runs, to be honest, because we always skip phases. But
Do a sorcery run.
Yeah, but if you would do lower damage run like sorcery on Crystal Sage, it's kind of ridiculous what is happening there.
Yeah, and also like a lot of people like will say like Deacons is really easy, but until you do a no hit run, you realize
no hit runner hates Deacons. I thought Deacons were kind of okay or whatever until I started no hitting this game, and Deacons is my most hated boss in all of Souls, and maybe all of video games.
Exactly.
I actually was the same way. I was like, okay, leveled no hit run, yeah, they're not bad. SL1 still not bad. Then I tried no upgrades and I was like, fuck this boss. It's so bad.
Deacons are so awful.
Oh Jesus!
I wonder if any of the runners are going to go visit my girl Rosaria to get skulls early.
I would love to, although all of these runners are running +9, which basically will melt the Pope, and I'm pretty sure they don't need any more skulls than what they get from Mortician's Ashes. Because from the ashes that they get in Settlement, you can also buy 6 skulls, which is very, very vital for this part.
Combined with the 2 you get at the beginning of Settlement, and did any of the runners get the 3 in that little corner at near the end of Settlement?
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so. No.
I saw somebody go and get those. It might have been Kazoodle. Yeah, so Kazoodle's got 4 right now.
So he probably didn't get them. He'd probably have like closer to 5 or 6.
I think when it's the one you want to buy them for this running section. At least that's what I used to do. I don't remember the reason though.
You can also save a skull at the beginning if you throw a black firebomb for the 3 dogs of Undead Settlement.
Yeah, that's true. Skulls in the early game are very scarce. Although after Cathedral, you unlock a character called Patches, from which you can buy unlimited skulls.
And especially with SL1, like they're 800 a piece, so you can just buy them to your heart's content. It's not like you're spending your souls on anything else.
Exactly.
Like
I'll end up buying like 30 or 40, like standard.
Yeah, 30 is like good bet for the entire run. You pretty much sold.
What is something that you think each of these runners does that's different in their run, or maybe it's like a little bit of risk, but they find it really consistent, or something like that?
I mean, for Squilla, I would say what that strategy on Dancer.
Yeah, definitely.
That was terrifying.
I'm pretty sure
Squilla's doing a lot of speed strats. He didn't get Karthus Blood Ring. And some of the ways he's fighting these bosses is very aggressive.
Exactly. We're gonna
I
see
have
definitely
Kazoodle
more
getting
stuff from.
the sorcery trainer here.
I think everyone's gonna get him because Spook is allowed in this tourney. So
So they're getting him for dungeon skip. Okay.
yeah, dungeon skip.
Nice.
Yeah, he spells. Yes.
No, nothing.
Yeah, Spook is allowed, and kind of one of the reasons why is because like that adds a whole lot of risk, but also it speeds up the run. Like if they didn't have Spook, they would have to go through Earthil Dungeon itself, like the lower Earthil Dungeon, and that's just a big stress.
And you got to deal with Big Rat Joey and Margaret as well, so there's that as well.
Dudes, Vinny loves his rodents.
Yeah,
naming every single one in the game.
Oh my god.
I don't name the little ones; they're just the babies, whatever. But you know, the big rats, you know, they're there for. They got big and tall for a reason,
Yeah.
you know.
Speaking of risky,
Rats don't earn a name
villages,
until they've grown up.
they earn the rights to be called. Speaking of risky, Squilla just zoomed next to the giant.
Yep, just ran right past the giant. That's another one.
I think he always used to do that, and now he's setting up RTSR as well.
Yeah, he never killed a
Players.
giant in the past period. Like it's a
Dino
old
in the tight
scrap.
spots. He's being
Dino's
chased
got
by
a
two
dog
dogs.
on him.
Oh
Oh
no!
my god.
So with the dogs, Dino, move your camera back. Look at those dogs.
Dogs
Please?
teleport in this game. If they're not on camera, they can just respawn in front of you.
They can respawn like right on top of your head too, and you can't do anything about it. But
Yeah.
fortunately, it looks like he's okay because usually when you pass that threshold right there, the dogs don't tend to chase you, though it can still happen.
Yep.
So
exactly.
I think we're in the clear now. But that was definitely Monka W right there.
What happened with Dino there? What happened to make those dogs aggro?
Actually, I didn't look. I think he threw a firebomb, and maybe because on SL1 you cannot kill this dog with a single black firebomb. You either have to throw two, or either have to throw one and sneak around, or you have to throw a skull and a firebomb. So I don't know for which variation he went, but well, this place is very traitorous.
Yeah, this is one of the most dangerous. This and Pontiff Stairs are the most dangerous running sections in the game.
I would say Pontiff Stairs is a little bit more consistent compared to Deacon's run up.
Yeah, that's true. And also,
very precise with stamina management, especially for SL1.
Yeah. Also, this part I would say is the hardest running session in any percent. There's just so much going on. There are like guys with crossbows. There are thralls with throwing knives. There are grave wardens. There is like so much going on in this spot, in this place, and you have to really learn the precise pathing to get through unblemished.
Also, fun fact, that little ledge that we jump onto, not only does that skip a very dangerous section of this area, but also PvP players tend to not mess with that. So
exactly.
I've seen Gino many times just jump on that ledge and they don't know what the hell to do.
Wait, how?
Yeah.
Little do they know, Dark Souls is actually a platformer.
Yeah.
I love platforming in Souls, dude. It's so good. I never died in platforming section in Souls.
No, never.
So what is Squilla doing at this moment?
He's circling down routes.
So this is Deacon's NASCAR. So you want to go to the right. Generally speaking, this is especially for Twin Blades. The movesets for most weapons gives you a better running attack when you're coming from this direction. You want to kill the Deacons on the very end that are lit up red, the ones that are on the outskirts, if possible. That's a nice one right there.
Yeah. After 5, the main Deacon pops up and in the front of the floodgates, and then he takes away the entire HP bar, and this is the guy that we have to kill.
Yeah, so running around them in a circle like this will actually kind of group them up, and also they don't turn too well, so they don't get good shots on you, and any shots they do, you'll strafe anyways. So this is a good way to just have them all in one big pile to where you're not going to get blindsided by anyone, and to strafe their attacks as you're going around.
Something I learned.
Go ahead.
Something I learned from Beastwood too. If you do like a little like slow down and then run around to your target, they'll actually turn a little bit slower towards that end once you're on that side. That's another trick that you can do.
And so you can see Squilla now, he's killed 4, so he's leading them towards the back of the arena, so that when the main Archdeacon spawns, he can just run up there, and the main mass of deacons here are going to be out of the fight. They're going to be back here while he deals with the Archdeacon up front.
Yeah. And also, of course, in this fight, there are 30, I think it's 30, right?
30 what?
Deacons, separate
Never
deacons.
counted.
Maybe like 20, yeah. But
too many. That's how many.
Too many. And every single one of those can do randomly what the hell they want. They're going to throw a firebomb, jump at you, whatever you please.
Yeah, I've seen up to like 6 or 7 fireballs at once. It's kind of scary. Like, this is kind of a sleeper boss too, because like, for like, casual play, it's easy as hell. But like when you're doing no-hit runs, there might be a deacon that just spawned and walked all the way around and hit you with a fireball that you didn't see.
Small baby deacon, yeah. Just messing you up.
So a major
and you
difference
don't want to kill more deacons than you have to, because every time you kill a deacon, another one will respawn. And if you have a lot of them respawning, that will increase the randomness, increase the chances of getting blindsided by a deacon coming around from a weird angle. So you really want to be precise and just kill what you have to.
What do you want to say, Josh?
Oh yeah, so like I was just gonna say, so a major difference that we're probably gonna see here between Squilla here and Kazoodle and Dino is that I would imagine Dino and Kazoodle are gonna be going for the Lloyd Sword Ring, whereas you can see Squilla has actually set up RTSR for this.
Yeah, that's true. We gotta remember that Lloyd's and RTSR is not a big deal. It's not that big of a difference. I don't think it saves a hit even in this fight, RTSR. And Lloyd's is 10% when you have full HP, and RCI is 20 when you have lower HP, right? So it's effectively better, especially on S1 when you have in longer boss fights like DSA, for example.
Like when it comes to +9 and RTSR in this fight, it does make things a little bit more comfy when it comes to killing the Archdeacon itself. Because you have a finite time where you have to throw a skull, and you can kill in the first try without another skull, but you have to be really precise with your attacks.
And Josh was completely wrong because
oh no, yeah, they both set up RTSR. How about that? Look at
that. They heard you.
Ignore me.
Yeah, as I said, this is very comfy route. You basically take the least risks possible, and as I said, all of them are very good at the game.
Yeah, absolutely.
And skull placement is very important here. So you see how Squilla's threw the skull way out. This is so one of the bigger deacons, the thick ones, thick boys, don't do a Wrath of God attack, which won't do damage to you, but it does count as a hit.
Yeah, it knocks you back, basically.
If you don't throw the skull far enough forward, they can just kind of walk forward a couple steps and then do that force attack while you're hitting the Archdeacon and nail you with it. You throw it far enough forward, they'll walk forward first before doing it, and you'll be out of range then.
Oh, that's right. It's a force attack. The Wrath of the Gods actually does do damage.
There's a little bit of metagaming that goes into setting up RTSR, I think, because let's say things go completely wrong. Things go, south really quickly and everything is kind of chaotic. If you get hit in that scenario, you're going to die. And you're only going to take 1 hit. Whereas if you have Lloyds, you might take 2 or 3 or 4 hits.
That's correct, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, especially with tournaments, that's more of a consideration. When you're going for no hit, though, 1 hit is pretty much the equivalent of death anyways. But for tournaments, there's the potential for some of that sort of metagaming, depending on how confident you are with the particular fight. But I think all these guys are very confident in what they're doing here.
Yeah, and they're seasoned vets at this as well, so they've done this fight so many times.
Yeah, and we can see Skula, even with the reset, but he lapped a little bit. And also he's going straight to Beautiful.
It's amazing how equal these guys are. Like, Squilla's a minute or two ahead, and that's it.
Yeah, yeah.
Squilla's choosing to aggro the Pontiff Knights instead of using the White Branch strat.
Yeah, that's very old school way of dealing with them. He's basically waiting for the either I think double swipe or this one to smack him. Because as long as you keep them in combo, there's no way they're gonna. Still running around, man. I must say that I think the only thing that I really dislike about this run in general and DS3 is that first part of the 90% is so goddamn boring, I feel like.
Yeah, that's like, DS3 in general.
You get a little bit of break after Abyss Watchers, and then like after Deacons, that's when the run really begins.
Yeah, like Pontiff, Aldrich, like Yom, even Yom, and a lot of cool bosses afterwards.
That was actually the main inspiration for the run I was working on a little bit ago, where I was basically doing Dancer and then DSA and then Osiris and Champ.
I remember you doing the hard boss order. That's a really cool run, actually.
It was a lot of fun, actually.
And also, yeah, Squall using the brown strat right here. It's very vital in this part. Back in the day, way back in the day, people used to just run for this area, and that was very tragic most of the time. That's like a coin flip an hour into the run, and it's a coin flip because there are fire witches in this spot.
Well, you would still walk past this one, but the second one we would run past, and that was the coin flip because the fire trail does not work as intended sometimes.
Yeah, and Zulu just got hit on decons. Goddamn, I think he could firebolt.
Feels bad. Does anybody got a clip of the hit as well?
Yeah, I'm clipping. Oh.
What did
that was actually very unlucky.
What did Kazoodle get hit to?
To the fireball in the Deacon's fight. One hit, he had Arceus.
Yep, we got a couple clips in chat of it, looks like.
Let's see. Oh, I see. He was running to the front after the last Deacon, and wow, that is unlucky.
That's very unlucky.
Because they were not even like casting when he was starting to run back. I saw like a little flicker at the corner of the screen.
And angle your run so that they don't have a clear shot at you.
Ooh, that made me a little nervous.
Yeah, that was a little dicey from Dino there.
Yeah. And you can see that the Deacon's fight is like that. Just one small mistake. You're just not looking at the crowd. Yeah, and yeah, exactly. That's all it takes. Oh, what? Squad just got hit. He counted on the hits. Did he get hit by something?
Where did he get hit?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm looking. He doesn't have full HP.
I think he fights the Aerithal Knights, so maybe he got hit by one of the Pontiff Knights.
Hold on, I'm scanning for it now. He got hit by the Fire Witch.
Really?
Oh, really?
Hold on, I got a clip here. Yeah, the one up on the balcony. He got nailed by her.
By the fire trail or what?
Actually, as he was running away, the flamethrower. Wait, no, not the flamethrower attack. As he was running away, let me set this clip up right. He broke as he was hanging out under there. Yep, the fire trail.
Yeah.
As he was hanging out under that area, which can happen.
That's very tough.
Oh, it sucks.
he also did this strat a little bit incorrectly. You're supposed to, because if he's that far away, he deactivating the wide branch. The Fire Witch might
should
do
have
this
left that a
attack.
little
This
bit.
very
Did you post the clip?
and the big problem. And the big problem with this attack is that it's the only reason people use wide branch there. If that would be reliable to dodge, I think people would dodge it. But this attack can literally bounce off the walls and basically turn around to 180 and straight up hit you.
And sometimes you won't even see it. It will just appear all of a sudden and no sound or anything.
Or sometimes you can hear it, but you cannot see it. And you're like, what the hell?
Yeah, it's so random. It's so buggy.
Yeah.
Okay, so he ran early. Okay, so
yeah, he ran up early there. That is why he
so
hit.
Very early.
With this strat, you want to wait till the Fire Witch actually starts to move when you're using that, and then you'll not get a fire trail because you'll be close enough.
I got hit going that way like once, and from then on I've started going the other way over to the left where the Fire Witch never even aggroes, where you block her line of sight with that pillar.
Oh, that's another way too. That I like that method.
That is so much just less stressful.
But like for some reason, like the Fire Witch will think you're farther away if it notices you right there, and it'll do the fire trail attack sometimes.
I'm pretty sure one of the either Dino or Zula will do it correctly. We'll show you guys. Also, Squilla is getting patches right now. The thing is we kind of manipulating the quest line. And we basically, after the Deacons and after killing Pontiff Beast, you can unlock the patches. You buy the tower key, you go up the tower, you click the elevator, and you get stuck, of course. And then you use the Homeward Bone, and you talk to him, and he can sell you as many skulls as you want.
So there's like a couple different things that will prevent him from showing up. One of which, if you don't kill the Pontiff Beast, they won't show up, or if you don't pass that threshold of the the veil right before you get into Irithyll proper.
Yeah, that's true. Also, if Zequot is going to die, he's not going to appear. Which I learned today, actually. For example, if you're going to go up for the Flints, and he's going to in one unlucky way, he's going to die very, very fast, then he just does not appear. And if you don't know the
surprise, an hour and a half into a run.
Yeah, and if you don't know the the no branch strats, it's goddamn, it's GG, I think. I don't know what I would do. I would reset, I think.
So Kazuto chose to kill the Pontiff Beast. Was he killing the Pontiff Beast now? Yeah, he is. Wait. Or did he kill him already?
I think he did it. He killed it early after Volnir.
Yeah, he killed it after Volnir.
I thought maybe... Okay, so I must have missed that, because he ran back for a split second. Maybe he thought he forgot something and was going to go back to that bonfire or something.
Yeah.
Here you see the power of White Branch. As long as you remain perfectly still, the enemy can walk right up against you and won't aggro.
It's kind of funny. They get stuck sometimes, and like you would just see they're walking like back.
Oh yeah, how could I forget about this statue in the plain sign just standing there in the middle of the staircase? What's the
point? Statue
just walk around. I'm sorry, what?
Going on right now?
Yeah, we have Ice Cream Run.
Is destined to win.
Ooh, Ice Cream Blessed Run.
Yeah, that's a blessed run. Even after the hit, but that's absolutely means that Zulu is not getting hit anymore.
Ice Cream Grandpa has like literally every flavor in one cone, and it tastes amazing. And then he has some macadamia nuts for sprinkles. It's
God.
that's Ice Cream Grandpa's thing.
Yeah.
Of course, he's got that rice pudding on the bottom of the cone as well.
And also Squilla is going for Pontiff.
So now we can see Dino doing basically exactly what Squilla does, except he walks up further. See how the Fire Witch aggroes first before he moves? When you make your move, then it's completely safe. It's 100%.
Exactly.
And second parry on Pontiff, perfect.
Yeah. Plus again,
now
+9 twin blades, +9 twin blades and +9 broadsword is basically the
Ooh,
same. You
that
still
chair
skip
almost
the
screwed him
phase.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Ooh,
Okay,
was a
we're
little late
good.
to the party there.
So,
What
like,
happens?
thing you got to watch out for with Pontiff, when he does the phase transition, he will do this AOE as he's bending down. So as soon as you see him bend down on his knees, get out of there.
Yeah. It really does not deal a lot of damage, but still counts as a hit.
Exactly.
damage. And especially if you, well, they didn't set up RTSR for that. Nobody sets up RTSR for Pontiff.
It's not really a very good way of doing it, aside from maybe using Dun Pies. If you get the ashes,
I
by these
think there's a
spider
way I think there's a way to set it up with
in the
full.
area with the Silver Knights in that gallery area, but it's horrible.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So unless you Dung Pies and Blooming Purple Moss, or you're a sorcerer, you don't want to set up RTSR.
You guys see that?
That
Fireball
Squilla
is
route
chasing
with the
Squilla.
fireball.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was
Oh
so
my
close.
god. So he took the speedrun route there rather
Yeah,
than
basically.
stick close to the left wall.
I remember I used to do that, but then I got hit twice, like back-to-back runs by
Was it
Jon
by-
Snow.
Jon Snow, yeah.
I was like, no, dude.
He's a
come
sneaky
on."
fucker. Like you remember that time I did like what 3 skulls and I'm just chilling over here and he just like appears. Like
Yeah. In the spot that Squilla is right now.
yeah. I'm like Jon Snow.
And Squilla has Ice Cream Grandpa now.
Another
We,
blitz.
for a brief moment, had 2 Ice Cream Grandpas on screen at the same time.
So
Also,
these,
I'm not sure, but that Squilla knows. But I think he doesn't know. But I think he doesn't know that Spook is allowed.
maybe he's
because
just used to
he
that
still doesn't
route. He
have it.
didn't want to route it in. Or did he get it?
I don't think he even talked to the Orbeck.
No, I don't
I'm
think he
pretty
talked to
sure he
Orbeck
didn't.
either.
He's just
So-
cruising along. He's so practiced at this. He's got his muscle memory. He's just cruising.
So we're gonna see possibly a Big Rat Joey Margaret appearance in this one.
Yeah. Also, in this part of the run, you can take a little. There's a little twin road. You can either go to Pontiff or to Yom. It's honestly up to the preference. It's both of them are not speedy at all. You can make an argument that on leveled it's better to go for Pontiff because then you have like Aldrich right after, and it's just you can kill them in one go.
And if
And you
you're
have
going for the
awesome.
faster strats, you get Easterner's Ashes for the +6 after Pontiff, whereas
Exactly.
going for Yorm gets you nothing.
Yeah. So basically, in this part, you have to kill 3 bosses, then you get teleported back to Lothric Castle, exactly at the place that the runners killed Dancer.
It's basically a scripted event after 3 Lords of Cinder have been slain. It just teleports you back there. So normally Emma would be dying when you come back there, but they've already killed Emma and Dancer.
Yep. Exactly. Also, speaking of the enemies that Dino is killing right now, they're not very threatening, I would say, but they have an attack that decreases your health pool, which counts as a hit. And you just have to run up to them and very quickly kill them. Because if you're gonna allow them to look at you for too long, they're gonna start just bleeding your health, and there's nothing you can do. There's no projectile. There's no nothing. You just get drained, and that's it.
That's just a gaze attack. Although it can be rolled.
It can be rolled. That's true.
Yeah.
And also, the only reason that the spook was allowed for this tourney right here by Dino. Boom, beautiful.
So he's going for the roll. I personally like the backstep personally.
I like the backstep too. It's so easy with backstep.
Because like I've had dead rolls happen.
Oh yeah, when you like too much forward and he just like rolls into place and just rolls off the ledge. Yeah, that's very fun.
It's always nice to happen that far into the run.
Can you also get a dead backstep? Is that possible?
No, it's 100% consistent.
No. Backstep is Really good.
Squill is working on Aldrich here. I think he has the damage set up, or he's pretty close to it. He's at about 1500 damage.
Yeah, and he
No,
just got a very good attack. I mean, he will see phase 2 because he's doing it.
Another trick with
never
Aldrich too.
mind. Phase
Wow,
1.
that got a nice attack right there, and we
GG.
got the nice.
I'm pretty sure he was not aiming for it, but he still got it. GG.
Yeah.
He just happened to get that attack in particular is the longest recovery time of Aldrich, so you can get a lot of damage in during that. Also, another thing that's interesting about Aldrich is there's actually 2 thresholds. There's one where he'll teleport no matter what, and there's one where if you make him teleport, he will phase transition. So it's like somewhere in the middle, like somewhere just over that threshold that you would push if you were to make him teleport.
Oh, so you can get an early phase 2 if you do enough damage and not enough damage to hit the guaranteed threshold, but then make him teleport.
Oh wow! So Squilla just ran past the Fire Witch.
Yeah.
I know he's probably used to doing that. Maybe he found it more comfortable after doing it for so long the last couple of weeks. Strat that I showed him that I do is I actually like walk past that Fire Witch. You can drop down if you stick to the wall and corner
And Squilla
around.
is running through the guys, and he just got drained 100%.
Oh, did he just get drained?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he got drained. I could see that. I was looking.
Oh yeah,
there's
had
nowhere else you would take damage here.
He had to have because he didn't roll or anything.
Yeah, you could see right here that his HP bar just raised by a slight margin. I don't know why he did that. Honestly.
Do we have a clip of that?
Maybe that was straight muscle memory right there, where he was just like, "Oh fuck, I forgot."
Maybe. So yeah, 2 hits for Squilla. Okay, I'm looking at.
No, he went into Irithyll Dungeon with damage.
I'm pretty sure he got drained. Look up closely. I'm pretty sure he got drained.
Look closely. If you have to, run it at like half speed.
Yep, he got drained.
Sometimes you can get an animation, but not really get drained. You have to look up your HP bar.
It's very, very close.
Yeah, but you can see
on the second one, he gets tagged just a little bit.
Something I learned from like running no HUD is generally speaking, you will get that puff of smoke before it drains you.
Yeah.
But very rarely, if it bugs out, it won't show up.
It does show up. It's like trailing behind him because he's running so fast. But yeah, there's a little puff of smoke here, posting it in chat now.
Exactly. So we were so excited about Squilla's head that we didn't even see the Yom. Yom is a pretty straightforward. I mean, it is really
just took care of him like super quick.
Yeah. Basically, in the Yom's fight, there's a weapon that kills him in literally 5 weapon art usages. And on SO1, it's very... I would say it's very vital because on SO1, Yom takes basically negative damage.
Wow, that's kind of crazy, though. He actually got drained by that first jailer. It wasn't the second set. Usually when you run straight through, you get drained by the one on the bridge.
I don't think Squilla even knows he took that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he doesn't. Someone needs to tell him. Unless he doesn't read chat or something. And Kazula is going to Yom as well.
Yeah, I see the puff of smoke as well. He was running so fast, it just trailed behind him.
Yep.
Is the puff of smoke on the jailer drain, is that the indicator that you've taken drain?
Not necessarily. If so when the first instance of seeing a red smoke, it doesn't actually drain you. That's when they actually locked onto you. And when you see it again, that's when it starts draining you really quickly.
That is why it's very important.
You can see his maximum health bar tick down very slightly as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, he didn't.
Yes, he didn't take hit by the mist, but because it's not a mist is not an indicator. If he's run through the mist, he can be totally fine. he got looked at, and you can clearly see at the clip that his HP got drained.
Yeah, exactly. Like the actual animation isn't always going to be a drain if you get out of there quick enough.
Yeah.
It's when it sticks to you.
Oh my god, Squill going for the risky hit there on Yorm.
Oh yeah, he's going for the speedy ball one. He got nice. He got a stagger. That's always great.
Oh my god, Squilla.
Nope. Oh my god, that was so close. Squilla, what are you doing to my
Yom
heart?
just gave him a shave.
I know, right? Like you're looking a little scruffy there, man. Let me take care of that for you. I'll take my dying breath to it.
Yeah, and I think Dino is the first. Oh no, I think he still parries Pontiff, but I'm pretty sure he doesn't parry Gandia, which is gonna be interesting to see.
Really, he does it straight up. That'll be oh man.
Very old school.
That fight is so fun without parries, honestly.
It really is, yeah.
Why is Dino putting away his weapon?
Because he doesn't want to use a shield. It's like his personal preference, and without any weapons in the hands, you can bare hands parry.
So
basically.
I know
if you have a bare hand in your left hand, if your left hand is empty and your right hand has a weapon, and you hit the L2 button to parry, you'll actually do the weapon art instead.
Exactly.
Yes, exactly.
I know, like for DS1, you can parry with the weapon in your hand, but there are some weapons you can still parry. In that
That
fashion.
is, yeah. There are different icons. If you have something in your left hand, for example, a shield, you can see an icon. The Grasko shield you can parry with, but if it has like a rectangular object in the bottom left corner, that means it will it will make weapon art of the weapon that you have in your right hand.
I actually didn't even know that about the icons, to be honest.
Yeah, and Squill has a DSA. It's actually very fun fights. It kind of grew on me because when I started running this game, I really hated it because of the, FPS and PS4 and the goddamn barrelflies. But now it's just so cool. The fight.
Yeah, definitely like one of the cooler movesets of the game too.
Yeah, there's oh my god.
There's so much you can just strafe around with DSA.
Yeah,
I was about to say that
in particular. Yeah.
Yeah. There is very high skilling in this fight. You can clearly see when someone is really good at DSA by like strafing most of the attacks because it's doing this so effortlessly.
I mean, if any of these guys were really good, they would have made DSA the third boss of the run.
Yeah, like who?
Like a certain Josh boy that we know.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
So someone asked if we could repeat the part about the icons and not having any weapons.
So basically, there are two types of shields, and if you have one icon, the rant icon, I don't know how to call it, the exactly one that Zula has right now, that means he will parry. However, with some shields you cannot parry. There is a rectangular object in the bottom left corner of the icon of the sorry, Zula just got hit by the transition phase of Pontiff. God damn. One, two.
Okay, so where exactly is everybody, and kind of what's their next boss coming up?
Okay, so both Zula and Dino are going straight to Aldrich. They're gonna kill the last Aldrich. They're gonna get teleported and fight DSA. But Squilla is ahead a little bit, and he's gonna go and fight Princess. He's currently in the archives right now after the DSA. So basically, he's two bosses ahead at this point.
So to me, it didn't look like he actually killed the Crystal Sage in Archives, Skula.
Yeah, he didn't. He just prefers not to. He just runs with him, basically. It's very old school strat, but he's very comfortable with it.
And what is the benefit of that?
It's faster, basically. It's faster, but it's way more risky.
So Kazoodle got hit by a tick of the Pontiff AoE.
Yep, exactly. Yeah.
Damn.
Very unlucky. And Dinos going strong still.
Now we got Ice Cream Grandpa here for Kazoodle
As well.
Oh yeah.
So what's the point of using either the Storm Ruler here or using something like the White Branch?
It's basically the preference. You can use it's a couple of ways to get through here. Basically, all you want to do is run through this area very quietly. So either you can use Stormruler weapon art, broadsword weapon art, because it makes you slow walk when you use it, when you hold it, and you can make an argument that it's easier because when you hold L2, you don't have to manage your joystick very gently. You know, you don't have to push it just a little bit. You can walk through it, which basically requires managing the joystick, or you can use a spook and run through it, although you will be seen by one of the archers on the way. So there's a couple of ways.
Brainpass, I believe, yes, the damage from the Pontiff transition was 1 hit. Yep.
Yeah, I would count it as one mistake. Yeah, definitely. It's just like Drayla's Drain. I'm not gonna count every single HP that he took.
Trying to like sort out was that 3 or 4 ticks or whatever would just be way too fiddly. So best to just
Yeah, we'll just
one and call it a day at that.
Yeah, we just call that a 1.
And sometimes you'll have a runner get maybe staggered by a hit, and then the next hit is completely unavoidable, and that would be counted as 1 hit as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Exactly, yeah. Skula playing with Gargo a little bit there.
Yeah, not using the White Branch
forth.
strat.
Yeah. What? It fall down, right? I missed that.
It did, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool strat. That was a strat that I was using before the White Branch.
Is that actually faster, do you think, or is the White Branch faster?
White Branch? Yeah, no, White Branch is faster, basically. Definitely.
Okay.
Because you have to wait
otherwise you have to
for
wait.
Gargoyle to like aggro to you and then like walk around, because the Firebomb activates its patrol path, and it's just after, and if you're in the White Branch and you will wait a little bit, then it's just free to go. We can just run past them.
Man, Dino and Kazoodle are just like neck and neck here on their pace.
Neck and neck. Those German strats, there.
Oh man, Squilla's on Pontiff stairs now.
Pontiff stairs?
Tension. Or not Pontiff stairs. Sorry, Prince's stairs. That's the boss. You guys know there's different stairs in this game?
No, it's just one set of stairs, and they just repeat.
There's a lot of stairs in this game.
It's just copied and pasted.
Dino just got phase 2 arrows on Aldrich, so you have to bone out. The phase when Aldrich does his arrow storm attack in phase 2, it goes on for literally about 20 seconds or so. It's really stupid, and trying to dodge that along with the additional attacks Pontiff will do while the arrows are still coming down is just impossible.
What you guys have with the Pontiff? It's Aldrich.
Aldrich. Now you got me doing it too, Josh.
Also, Skula, with the men not taking the shortcuts, he just gotta fight it flawlessly.
So I know that whenever I'm like working on my run, I add in like all the elevators and all that stuff for the shortcuts. Is there any benefit to doing that whenever you're at this level?
It's hard to
if
say.
You're going for the no hit, if you go ahead.
It depends on how comfortable you are with the game. There are some shortcuts that I absolutely never take. it would definitely hurt my pride if I would take some of those shortcuts. But there are
Yeah,
also
that's the big
shortcuts
thing.
that I would absolutely take every time because it's the boss that can always hit me. Like there are some bosses in the game that you have to maintain like 100% composure and focus, otherwise you will get hit. And Princess is definitely one of those. I would definitely. Oh, I'm always taking a shortcut for the for Princess, for example, because it also lines up pretty well with my strat of de-aggroing the knights, because you like hide in the alcove and stuff. So that's one of those that I always take. But
I think there's also a mental game with your confidence. Like, if you get the shortcut, that's almost like you're planning to fail.
yeah, that's too, yeah.
So you just don't get the shortcut because there's no way I'm getting hit here. You have to have that confidence. You have to have that swagger going in. And
Yeah.
not so much for a tournament, but when you're actually going for like 0 hits, when you're grinding that out, you're resetting if you get hit anyways, so who cares about the shortcut? And then you get that built into your muscle memory that you don't get that shortcut anyways, and so then you don't even get it when you go in tournaments.
Yeah. And also, very nice job from Squilla taking on the princess. He's going to Cinder right now.
I got excited for a second because I thought Squilla was going to cheese the princess in second phase, but he didn't do it.
I think cheesing Princess on SO1 is not very viable IMO. It's so long.
Really?
Yeah, and also
Yeah,
because
true.
of also how moveset of Broadsword works. So basically what we got talking about, guys, in phase 2 and the Princess fight, what you can do is that you can roll into at the start of phase 2, you can roll into the fog gate and wait there. And basically it will make Princess go in the loop of the same attack. He basically gonna do 2 swipes, horizontal swipes, and then he's gonna teleport and gonna do it again and again. And because Princess think you are actually outside of the arena, they're not gonna teleport on top of you. They're gonna start teleporting still in your way. So basically, you're gonna roll into the fog gate while they're attacking, smack them, roll the attack, smack them, and that continuously. And then Broadsword is very easy because Broadsword have this very distinct rolling attack that you can really easily grab Lothric, because in phase 2 you have to kill Lothric, the brother on his back. But with Broadsword, it's
Backpack
not
brother.
very viable. Yeah, basically backpack brother. That was a long explanation.
Yeah, but the shorter explanation is it's an AI loop you can get them into by rolling against the fog wall.
Exactly.
It's another one of those pride things where I think a lot of people really don't do it just because they really enjoy the Prince's fight.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Oh my god, that dodge from Kazoodle.
I know.
Yeah.
It was so good.
Oof. He's got that.
So what's really
So
risky about the
Squilla-
DSA fight?
Could you repeat, please?
What is really risky about this fight with Dragon Slayer armor?
I would say the fight itself isn't too bad. The riskiest thing in this fight is definitely 2 butterflies.
Kazoodle just got roll caught.
Very rough hits, yeah. Very rough hits.
Just an early panic roll there, and
Yeah. Back
A
to
roll catch.
DSA. Yeah. I would say the most important things that you have to look out for are 2 butterflies on the sides. You have to have 3 distinct attacks and 3 distinct sound cues that you have to look for every time. And they can catch you off guard a lot. You basically have to land them and you have to listen very carefully for it.
And he just went for the roll early and to roll out after he punished, and you hate to
Yeah.
see it.
And also, school at Cinder.
Yeah, those butterflies can really sometimes they can give you some difficult RNG. There is a way around pretty much every situation, but it requires extremely precise precision and like planning.
Yeah. For example, laser plus small meatballs combo. You have to run away from the meatballs, but laser is gonna predict where you're running to, right? So what? It might be pretty tough. And I would say it's very low percentage, but there are situations in which they are unavoidable. And also Squilla just died to Soul
Oh,
Mass.
Squilla died.
Yeah, Squilly just took a hit.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Cinder. Yeah, maybe let's talk about Cinder because it's very in-depth fights.
Yeah, Cinder is
what's your
probably
start?
like the most complex actual thing that you fight on this run.
Yeah, definitely. He has, I think I read some of 37 combos or something like that. 37 different attacks, especially in phase one. In phase one, he changes up to 4 different stances, I would say. There is a sword stance, which he always starts off with. There's a spear stance. There's a pyro stance, and there's also a mage phase. And every phase has a distinct weapon art, which might cause some trouble as well.
Oh man, all 3 runners here in very difficult fights.
Yep. Talking about the jump between SO1 and leveled, I would say Lothric split. Oh my god, it's so much harder. When I first started learning SO1, it just got so. It's so much harder, especially DSA. Usually you can skip even phase 2. You don't have to fight with butterflies on twin blades, but on SO1 you definitely see some, and you just gotta learn. That's one of those things.
Bark.
This is
I didn't
definitely a
know Borger was
dog-friendly chat.
casting.
Also, GG to Dino, getting flawlessly through it.
Every time we hear a dog bark, we need to be posting, dog emotes like "Oh my dog"
Exactly.
or "Wowie."
Or wow. Yeah. Yeah, it tends to happen when you have 2 dogs. One dog will bark at one thing, and then the other dog has to bark at it too.
Looks like
Yeah, and
Dino
then
got a game
the
crash.
first dog starts barking because the second dog barked, and they go back and forth with that.
Exactly.
Okay, so real quick,
GG.
what happened with Dino?
He got a game crash. It's a very consistent crash that can happen in archives.
Exactly. Yeah,
I know his
and
game tends to do it in archives a lot. My game does it too. Not everybody's does though.
And game crashes do not count as a hit. For those who are wondering, it is something that's like known.
yeah, because this game is flawless.
Yeah, absolutely false.
I mean,
That
it
is
was
You're not
actually-
going to do an
play this
all-out
fast.
run without at least one crash.
Like I've even had like crashes, even though I have crash fix, I'll still have an occasional one here and there.
I think I'm the only runner that that was the first things first that I did when I started running PC. I got crash fixed and I never had any problems. This game never crashed for me, no joke. So
Right.
yeah.
La-di-da, Eden, aren't you just Mr. Perfect here?
hey, I play on
No,
console and I never
my
had a
game is
crash.
just perfect. What can I say?
I mean, to be fair though, you had that like fresh PC, fresh install Windows. So
Oh my god, do you
Yeah,
guys
that's
see what
true.
Dino's doing?
Yeah, he's doing very
That's
interesting.
your own strat.
I think it's your strat, right, Flippy?
No. This was originally this was originally a German strat. I think this might be a Dino original. Let's see. So I know Jerome found it from one of the German runners. I'm not sure who, but Jerome used to do parries. But then it's like, no, you can just dodge back. You
Yeah,
don't
I'll
have to
explain
parry
what he's
each time,
doing here.
and it'll actually move farther if you dodge back. So to explain to everybody what's going on here, what Dino is doing is he's drawing Sage back here to this up corner up here at the top of the stairs. And what this will do is this will cause Sage to just kind of lose his mind and not be able to teleport anywhere. If he gets him in the right position, Sage will just kind of bug out and won't teleport and will just leave you alone for the rest of archives.
Exactly. Yeah.
GG
It's very
Cinder for
comfy.
Squilla.
Yeah. Also, GG.
Any percent is
GG.
done.
Yeah, free hits any percent is very solid. We gotta remember it's
Just
SO1.
to do that on demand, that's amazing.
And also, Zula is doing the other variation of the Sage strats. He's poisoning him. Basically, on SO1, you don't have enough damage to kill him. So what Zula is doing is he's gonna get RTSR. He like very specific ring setup. He's gonna parry him, do 5 attacks, and just gonna wait in the chill corner, and you're just gonna wait for Sage to die.
Yep,
With
and
5 hits with the rotted pine resin will inflict poison, and the poison damage will be enough to finish him off.
And if you use Lloyd's Ring on SL1, he'll actually have like 1 HP or something like that. Like he won't quite die.
Okay, so
it's definitely
Skula just
important to
went,
have RTSR.
Skula just
Go
went
ahead.
back to Undead Settlement. What's he doing?
Going for tree balls.
Going
Oh,
for
man.
tree rolls. Very early game boss. It should not be a problem. The biggest problem in this fight is probably the mobs in the arena that you have to take care of fast. But with +10, with fire resin, this boss is just gonna melt.
He doesn't have skulls on his hotbar.
You actually don't need them, I feel
would
like.
think you want that as a
Yeah.
safety.
I see a lot of people use Skull for the I know what you're talking about, backflip, when you kill the first mobs and then you about to wait for him to stomp to go underground.
Yeah, also I'm pretty sure he has some skulls on his bar.
He did, and just a little farther down didn't see him. But yep. He's got those at the ready.
Did Zoodle do DSA without RTSR?
Maybe he was just tired, or maybe if in case he will get hit again, maybe he will survive another hit, from a meatball or something.
I would guess that because he died, he didn't want to set it up again, and he was like, "Screw it, let's just do Lloyd's."
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking that too.
On SL1, if you embered and not embered, the setups differ a little bit.
Oh yeah. So he might not know the unembered setup, so just for safety, just did Lloyd's.
Yeah, exactly.
So as you can see, like the damage is still pretty good, and this is without fire resin or bundles.
This is one of the bosses where as long as you have the damage to pop the sacks, it doesn't really matter. Like going all out on damage for this fight really isn't going to help you because the damage is based on the sacks you pop. So
yeah,
exactly.
It's kind of like Wolnir 2.0.
And that's it. The balls are popped and the tree is dead.
Kind of points out how Dino is doing great.
I know, it's
doing
wonderful.
Fantastic.
Yeah, also that's
we can double gargoyle.
Yeah, both Zoodle and Dino doing the branch a little different, but
oh, I've never seen this variant of it.
Of Dino? Yeah, I learned about that from him as well.
Actually, it looks kind of comfy.
No, the main thing with this gargoyle, you want him to walk a few steps and then go for it.
Yeah, otherwise he will aggro to you and just gonna zoom towards you. He has a really BS attack in which he like charges you in like
just crashed.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Dude,
I just saw the freeze frame and then it just go away.
Next to the gargoyle, that might be that might be terrific.
Yeah, so what's important to know with crashing is every time you pause or like hit the menu button, that auto saves. So if you haven't done that recently, you might end up in a really rough spot when you reload your game.
Yeah, that's true.
Just spawn next to some enemies or something.
Exactly.
So school out of decay. That'll be very easy. He's doing the
so ODK actually is kind of risky because if you hit him at the wrong time, ODK will stagger, and his stagger can stagger you.
Yeah,
that's true, but it only happens really when you are in front of him. Usually, all other runs will try to be behind him, around his tail.
And this attack in particular, right here, the flamethrower attack, that the flame breath, that's when you a good opportunity to get some punish in.
Yeah,
and when you see him do that, like you can get hit by the AOE if you're not quick enough, right there. But he does do the damage needed to take care of ODK, and that's GG.
Yep. Also, Dino taking the very comfy slab up from the bottom of the elevator.
Why not just spend the 30k souls?
It depends. Again, it saves like
after princes, so he wants the +10 before princes.
Wait, what?
I'm assuming so. I think he's just playing it safe.
Because otherwise, you like after princes, you can just buy the slab from the handmaiden for 30,000. Which at this point, who doesn't have 30,000 souls?
Yeah, that's
If you
true.
look at the
Again,
numbers.
it's probably just a preference. I think it saves a hit if for one phase, unless a
Okay.
one.
Yep, and he's going for it for princes, so
Yeah.
yeah, so just to make princes a bit easier, just take about 45 seconds or so to make that fight a little.
I imagine he's also going to set up RTSR by the DSA boss room as well. On the way to
So
princes.
kind of going down there anyways.
School on the way to Osiris.
Osiris.
Cyrus.
I call him Yogurt Dragon.
Osiris is
this.
definitely Dino's
I
favorite
call him
boss.
You call him what?
I call him Blue Fuck.
Osiris is definitely Dino's favorite boss.
Gino's
Most people
favorite
just call him
boss.
bullshit, though.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And a lot of people hate him, and for a reason, honestly, because he has in phase 2 very, very bad attack, which basically is an insta charge. People deal with it by basically predictive rolling into him when he ends his combos. So
A lot of times
Katsu's,
he'll look silly doing it, but it's pretty much what you have to do to avoid it if you're fighting him close up in phase 2.
yeah,
Look like panic rolling, but basically anytime he could do it and you're in its path, you need to just roll.
Exactly.
So how hard is that
Because-
attack to predict?
You can't predict it.
it's not possible. It's not possible. There's only you basically can know when he's not gonna do it. He's definitely never gonna do 2 insta charges in a row. That's not his thing. But whenever you're in his path and you go and you have to roll in front of him once he's finishing
School,
the
it didn't roll there. That was terrifying.
yeah. He got kind of lucky though, to be honest.
He's not rolling.
Dude,
He's doing
he's
Osiris
up
no
on his
roll.
balls.
He's
Did
just
Dino
doing the
get a
speed
hit?
run. Oh my god.
Ooh.
Dude, he's getting
man.
I know
He-
it looks very
Oh my god.
it looks very, very
We get some claps in chat for Mr. School of Killer here doing
Yeah.
Osiris no roll.
He's just doing the manly Osiris second phase.
yeah.
Can
So
we get
Dino's
some
like a hit
bravos
on,
in chat for
also-
Mr. School of Killer, Osiris no roll? That was
Oh.
terrifying.
Damn, did Dino get hit?
He got hit on what, princes?
Did he?
Or did he
I don't think he made it.
like die to fall damage?
he
Oh,
got
did he
hit.
die?
Oh no, he got hit setting up
He died to fall
RTSR.
damage.
That's
Oh,
so
no.
unlucky.
Oh god.
Just to clarify,
what a hit to take.
that anytime you die to fall damage, that does count as a hit.
Yeah, exactly.
Fall damage does not count as a hit unless it's lethal, in which
Right.
case the death counts as a hit.
Yep.
Well, at least you didn't fall down an elevator.
That's true. That's true. I mean, that's something I've definitely seen Jerome do. So
Many times.
it's totally possible. But I will say that, like, whenever I was learning the Dark Souls 1 any percent no hit, I can't tell you how many times I backstepped off a ledge or something like that and took fall damage and died.
Well, I backstep off of the ledge when I was changing the Ring of Fog in the Asylum.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
like
yeah, for sure.
twice.
That's a popular one.
Yeah.
All right, so am I just having
Dino.
deja vu, or what's going on here with Squilla Killer? Didn't we already see him fight Gundyr?
Yeah, what's
This,
also using like a graphical mod? This place is not. It doesn't look.
This is
So
Dom,
this-
is he modding?
so this is what I like to call Olympic gold medalist Gunder. This is like the true Gunder. So
I like to call him Chad Gunder.
Chad Gunder.
So at the start, we find the Virgin Gandhi, then we deflower him, and this happens.
Yeah.
Wait, I don't think that's how it works, Eden. I think you've got things backwards.
Did Kazoodle take a hit?
Yeah, Zoodle just got hit, I think, by the quick slam.
Oh man, I hate that quick slam on princes. Very unfortunate.
Princess
Dino
is
is
such a
also
hard
on-
fight.
And Squilla really just made very quick work of Champ Gunder. He
Yeah.
warped back for some reason. Maybe he just. Oh, okay, that's right. Because you don't have to actually do anything after that. He just.
Yeah, just
Oh,
going
yeah.
to Vibrant. Yeah. Yeah, 180
Man,
quick slam.
I'm gonna be thinking about that Squilla's Osiris. It's gonna haunt my dreams.
Dude,
We gotta
I
ask
haven't seen
him.
I haven't seen a fight like that. I have so many questions for Squilla after he's run. So many questions.
Yeah, that was 180 quick slam, unfortunate. Really. It's the fastest attack Princess have. And, well, you just... There's not much you can do, you just have to roll it. And also, the strat, the AI loop that me and Flippy were talking about, that's exactly what Dina's doing right now.
Exactly.
It's gonna take a little bit longer because it's one, obviously.
The rolling attack for the
Find out, chat.
broadsword
Everybody
is...
get your stinky cheeses in chat for Dino.
Oh my god, yeah.
It's,
Nasty.
Yeah, but the roll attack for the broadsword leaves much to be desired because it does deal significant less damage compared to just a regular.
Definitely.
This is still way better than any magic run.
Yeah, actually.
Pyro is really easy for Prince. Pyro is really easy.
Oh my god!
Getting the hit on Lothric is pretty tricky.
That's
with
true.
Great Combustion.
That's
so
true.
back
Actually nailing him because you have to like aim for his little dangling feet, and it's really tricky. And you might end up killing Lorien with Lothric still having too much health and have to set up the cheese a second time.
Yeah, because sometimes it'll just phase right through and not even hit Lothric, or sometimes it just won't hit Lorien at all.
This is literally the best strategy in the entire game, and I don't know why everyone doesn't use it. I am now rooting for Dino 100%.
I thought this was supposed to be an impartial jury.
I never agreed to that.
No, oh my god!
I mean, that's
so
not
close.
partial. That's just objective.
That's objective truth. It's just the best strat.
Miko objects.
But yeah, Squilla going to Viven currently, and well,
this he's going to perform the Wyvern skip on here, which is allowed on this run.
Yeah,
but like it's actually a lot trickier than you think it would be if you've never done it before.
I don't know. Maybe he'll do Chain Snake for fun.
That's so fun.
Keep it old school, right? Because that's what people used to do when people started first doing this.
Yeah, when I first started learning this game,
is there anybody who does no-hit runs that doesn't do Wyvern skip?
Hob.
Yeah, Hob's one of the few left.
Hob is the last all-content runner that didn't do Wyvern skip.
I want to say there's one other runner that was also doing Chin Snick as well. I forget who it was.
Maybe mapping? Maybe?
Perhaps.
Yeah, because he got it super long time ago. So maybe the strat wasn't developed as well. And also Squilla just messed up the strat.
He got the bad head.
Let's see what happened with Kazoodle's camera there for a second.
No, what happened?
Camera went all wacky right near the end, and it was of the Prince's fight, and it was actually pretty scary.
Damn.
But he got out of it just fine. Oh, he actually got the riposte on Prince's. That's what happened.
Oh yeah, that happened.
It's so janky.
It's so buggy if you're like against something while you're doing that. It's oh my god, it's nerve-wracking.
Yeah. And also about the Wyvern skip, it's not much but like a clever platforming. Basically, we're making a Wyvern spit the fire and lowering its head at the same time, and we using the specific curb, and we just jump off of it with a running attack, and we ended up on its neck, and that counts as a kill.
And how many people here thought it was a plunge attack? A jumping plunge attack when they first tried to do it.
Oh,
I know I did.
Yep.
Oh, the roll past the roly-poly on Squilla's end was scary. Anyway, Cinder, yeah.
Dina the Cinder. And also Zula the Cinder. It's 2 Cinders.
Spicy. Yeah, Dino and Zoodle really just been. It's almost like they made a phone call this morning, like, are we doing the same route?
Hell yeah.
Herman's
So
in lockstep.
to-
Wait, never mind. I'm not. No, stop.
So to emphasize just how little souls matter, you can look at Kazoodle and Dino. They both have around 300,000 souls just chilling in the bank.
Yep. There's basically not much you
was
can do.
at 600,000.
I actually really enjoy popping souls, even if I don't need them, just because I like high soul counts.
Just get
Right.
that number. You got that high
Like,
score
That
going.
flex.
Yeah.
Get that flex.
I'm going to Gale 1 million souls. Hell yeah.
You remember the titles on Soul Streams that says 10 million souls or some shit like that?
I do.
Whatever, I've done that hundreds of times. Somebody comes in talking about, their playthrough and talking about how they just lost 5,000 souls and they're heartbroken. Like, well, watch this. I just lost 50,000 and I don't care.
Right.
I don't even care.
What's the
kinda
most
funny
number
how
of
that
souls
flips,
you've
you
lost?
know?
3 very epic fights.
Like, it's always so
Nameless King in
heartbreaking, like,
Crusaders.
on both casual and your first playthrough when you lose souls. It's like, no, my life's over.
Will going in phase 2.
Zula just gets very unlucky.
Oh,
He
no.
got Soul Mass in the
Curve.
So
pyro
the
phase.
problem with this phase with Soul Mass is you basically have to run backwards to avoid the curved sword while simultaneously going horizontally to avoid the Soul
Yeah.
Mass.
Yeah.
So it's pretty dicey.
You just have to run away from him as far as possible. I wouldn't even bait out. I would just run.
Yeah, he was trying to bait it out there, but it just wouldn't shoot.
Yeah. And on the other hand, Dino just got healing plus Pyro, and the Pyro is very infamous for not being able to punish anything.
Exactly.
I mean,
Melee,
you can
it's
punish
not safe
some.
at all.
Yeah,
There are
you
some
can punish a lot, I would say, but it's not very safe, and also you can get parried.
This
at
second
some
attack right
scenarios.
here, where he does like the double wave, and then there's also the fireball, because he does have a lot of recovery for both of those.
Yeah.
Now, if you're positioned incorrectly on that second swipe, however, he can quickly just bash you.
So is Squilla doing Nameless King without? Yeah, he's not using Blood Ring.
Yeah, he never
You
picked it
didn't
up.
get it.
You never picked it up, yeah.
GG.
And GG Squilla Killa.
Yeah.
Nice.
Squilla 3 hits and 150 something. Very well done.
Okay.
Yeah,
No,
let's have
Junker,
somebody
did you
remind
say that
to,
people would need to show their soul level at the end of their runs as well, or was that a requirement?
Let's have somebody remind Squilla to show game time.
It was one.
Just put out, I saw 156.28 though.
Yeah.
And he's gonna show it now, I think.
Which goes to show, I just want to like take a moment to realize like how much further along Squilla was at the end of this run compared to Dino and Kazoodle due to a lot of the speed running.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, a lot of the things he did during the run were optimized for speed, indefinitely, for sure.
Yeah. He's basically 7 bosses ahead at the moment. So, I mean,
that was a very impressive run, both for the speed and the skill of that.
All right, so we're gonna
phase 2 Cinder now.
We're gonna see if we can get Squilla in here for a little bit of post-game chatter or
Alrighty.
post-run chatter. Although we do have double Cinder going. I
think we're most interested in what happened in the Osiris fight.
That was freaking amazing.
Should I wait till after the Cinder fights?
I would say so.
It's
yeah.
Sure.
After that, you probably can, Greatwood. So
Zoodle's on the second phase of Cinder at the moment.
Yeah. Nico's still struggling with phase 1. Okay, never mind.
Also, I just want to take a moment to realize just how good all of these runners are, and B, how much time they put into each of these runs, because these are not easy runs.
No doubt.
It might
mean,
look easy, but it's really it's not. It's like hundreds hours of runs, hundreds of hours of practice. It's like it sucks up, definitely. All of those runs have a lot of time in the games.
No way. I was gonna say, was he about to crash again? It froze for a second on Kazoodle.
Okay, we're gonna go ahead
Or
and
that
pull
might have
School
been
in.
playback.
Zoodle is about to
Hey,
finish.
Squilla, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you guys?
Doing
What's up,
well,
Squill?
doing well. I'm gonna turn you down just a tiny bit.
Oh, too loud.
Yeah, just a tiny bit. So
Amazing
That's where I
fun,
scream. It's like,
Squilla.
am I too loud?
So the most interesting thing we have to ask is the Osiris fight, the flexing no roll.
Yeah. Well, okay, to be honest, man, like I didn't practice at all for this tournament. I literally didn't even do a hitless run for a while. So I was kind of just like, let's see what happens if I just play the game. And I also got to the point where I was having so much fun. I just decided to do silly stuff. Like I was
That's
just being
awesome.
completely silly.
That's fair.
You were just like staring at him like, hey, go ahead, go charge, please, go charge.
I think it's also because on the speed run, like you're supposed to get hit by that too. And I was
yeah.
like, the fight was so close to being over that there was that one moment where he could have technically done it. And I was just like, well, I don't know, man. Maybe I'll stagger. I'll get the headshot because I've been used to actually getting like the riposte on his head, re-stagger his head and everything. And I was trying to go for that.
but no,
But, yeah, it
I
didn't
was
work.
amazed at how quickly you got that run done.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, that was a very decent showing.
I thought I was going to be the slowest. I thought everybody else was already almost done. So that's a surprise for me.
So was
Also, what about
not
that
going?
running for the beautiful?
Oh, so I like I said, I haven't played the hitless run for a while. So I guess there was something I did wrong. I don't know what it was. I don't remember.
So
Yeah,
with
you
that
could try
fire
maybe-
witch. Oh, the Dre and the jailers as well. Yeah.
Yeah, you could drain, but the very first guy, he like turned around and smacked you with his gaze.
Mm-hmm.
But basically, like, if you run too early with that fire witch, it'll just do a fire trail.
Okay, I didn't. Yeah, so I took also like the inside of where the fountain was instead of the outside of it. I thought that might be like something to do with it, but yeah, that's interesting because I've had him do the same thing again too. But even on the next attack that actually did get me, the like little explosion thing, I thought that was gonna just hit the wall like it normally does. So I figured that I wasn't against the wall in the right spot at the right time.
Typically, it does, but like it's pretty rare. But it can still do it sometimes. Typically you want to wait for him to aggro first and then run for the spot, and it's 100%.
Okay, that's fair. That is fair. Well, I guess they were kind of silly hits, but other than Cinder. But yeah,
A great run, honestly. Yeah.
thank you. It was fun.
But yeah, I don't know if you're still streaming or not, Squilla, but
Fantastic job, Squilla.
I wanted to say thank you for participating in the tournament for sure.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me. And also, wait, I guess so. How do the finals work right now? I guess we have to wait for Kazoodle and Dino to finish, right?
Yeah. So the way it's going to work is we're going to wait for also the late bracket to finish, and then I'll notify everybody if they made the finals or not.
Okay.
And then that way, if we have any ties or whatever, we're obviously going to look at in-game time and stuff like that. And so your very speedy in-game time will definitely potentially help you out there. So yeah,
Okay.
so once the early bracket is finished and once the late bracket is finished, I'll let everybody know.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Of course.
And then I guess I'll probably be streaming some more speedruns and stuff like that. So I wish everybody luck that's participating. I guess like whenever they're finished. I don't know if they can't hear me, obviously.
We'll
will
definitely
yeah.
let them know.
Everyone's doing pretty good so far, I would say. Some meme hits, but that's about it.
Yeah.
Well, considering this is also SL1, like that's the cool thing because most of the tournaments are just regular characters, right?
Indeed.
Oh, that was a cheeky dodge by Zoodle there. He just dodged the insta charge.
Yeah, that was scary. So do you think he like on purpose spaces that to try to dodge it like he is right now?
Yes,
That's pretty
definitely.
smart.
I think
So you can
the
actually
Distraction
see it
Crack came up
coming.
with that strap.
But does he do? Can't he like do the insta charge then insta charge again right after once he gets
No.
to you?
No, that is why
Oh.
it's so good.
I think
Oh,
he
okay.
can if he pivots first, though.
Mm-hmm.
If it turns a little bit.
Yeah, but from the pivots,
Yeah.
he always can insta charge.
Mhm.
The thing is, he cannot do it twice in a row.
Well, it's definitely a good way to do it. That's cool. All right, guys. Well, I'll leave you to your commentary, and I guess I'll be taking a break on my stream for the people that are watching. But thank you so much for having me for it, and good luck to everybody.
Of course. Thank you,
GG
Squilla.
Squilla.
Absolutely, man.
All right, I'll see you guys later.
So we got Kazoodle just wrapped up with Osiris, and we got Dino.
So I was
in,
expecting to see
Greatwood.
that first from Distraction Grab, but Zoodle learned the strat as well, which is pretty cool to see. So
Yeah, it's a
if
great
you guys
strat.
haven't noticed, he kind of like goes on his hind legs. He looks kind of goofy when he first starts the charge. Or he doesn't do that animation when you're right up close to him.
Yeah, his phase 2 is super strange. And I've noticed that also, his charge behaves a lot like Ornstein's charge in Dark Souls 1, where if his turning radius is like not quick enough to be able to turn during his charge, he'll just stop and then he'll turn and then he'll charge at you. Like he'll continue the charge animation.
Yeah, sometimes
It's
he'll
very
correct
strange.
himself. It's really weird. Or if he's like at a weird angle, he'll like kind of pivot back. Like because fun fact, Osiris can't actually walk in second phase. He'll do his crawl attack, and if he's going to do a charge or a fly up, he will pivot instead.
They just never made a walking animation for him.
Pretty much. And Kazuto throws a firebomb to get rid of that illusionary wall. There's a rare chance that you can actually fall through the world and die, and unfortunately, that still counts as a hit. So he's just making sure that doesn't happen.
So here we see a divergence in the routes between Kazoodle and Dino, where Kazoodle's actually going towards Champ and goes and does Greatwood and ODK last.
Exactly. He wants to get rid of the very difficult boss out of the way, which I assume is Osiris. Obviously.
This is actually kind of an old school order from back in the day, because same
Greatwood
mindset.
last. Hell yeah.
A little underwhelming ending if you're completing a no-hit run, but it's still, safer in that sense. Especially when you're going for your first run.
So, just for the viewers, the kind of lower section past ODK, is there a boss down there, or is there any reason to go down there for no hit runs?
Nope. There is okay.
Only for Pyro. Pyro will go down there in order to get the Izalith Tome, which gets you Great Chaos Fireball.
Yeah,
Beyond
definitely need that.
Yes, that is true. I also went down on my no upgrades to get Black Knight Soul because it's probably the best.
Oh, yeah. SL1
for Demon Prince
will get Black Knight Sword.
Oh, Cinder.
Yeah.
Because I know the Black Knight weapons are also good against Demon Prince, one of their weaknesses.
Yeah, demons overall.
Aside from those two things, there's an Estus shard down there if you really want it, but you don't. But yeah, otherwise, just for a couple specialized equipment, that's it.
Yeah,
and some runs will also get Sacred Flame. Which
no!
is
What the fuck? No, it's like absolutely missed it.
The hitbox has a
whiffed
hole in it.
attack.
It just phased.
Entirely whiffed.
Yeah, even Zudo's like, what the hell?
What was he?
Man, that would've killed that as well.
You're right, because that would have killed him.
Thunder will just flat out whiff.
That hitbox straight up has a hole in it.
Yeah,
like when you go to parry,
both Kazoodle and Gunner whiffed at the same time, and we're probably thinking the same thing. Like, what the fuck?
Okay, so approximately, like, how much time do we think each one of these runners has left in their run?
This is definitely a shorter leg, especially when you're already on your way to Nameless. So I would say
15 to 20 minutes. I would say.
Yeah,
20 minutes. Yeah,
give or take. Yeah, because once Nameless is out of the way, the rest is just boom boom. For Kazoodle's case.
Yeah, just a run up to FM peak run up. and that's it.
Really, past any percent, all bosses base game is just cleanup.
Yeah,
Mhm.
basically, you have most of the bonfires to get to.
And there's not really much running section you have to deal with outside of like on your way
Yeah.
to Wyvern and Nameless.
Back to the jailers.
Yeah, luckily
Yeah, got
from
some-
this side, they're
some
way
threats.
less threatening because they're like turning you back against.
And also the ashes for Unlimited Lightning is in that jail cell to the right that he just passed.
Yeah, exactly. You don't really need the Tempest run, to be honest, as well.
Yeah, not for all boss, I would say. For
Yeah.
all content, you would
For
probably want to
DLCs, yeah,
Wait,
it will be.
more important though, those ashes don't only give you just unlimited lightning buff. They also give you unlimited white branches.
Oh, that
my
is
God.
true. That's a
That
good
is true.
point.
Those ashes, man.
Jerome will get it
Unlimited
in
white branches,
100%.
which I have never found a use for branches in the outside of the any percent, except for what's his name, the NPC in Ashes of Ariandel.
Wilhelm?
I mean,
Yeah,
don't you
use
want to
for
be a
white
member?
branches in the DLC or in the optionals.
Don't you want to be a member of the White Branch cult?
Mhm.
I mean, kind of. I just watch Jerome's run.
Very, very prestigious level of
Exactly.
recognition.
Green team
And see all
PvP,
those
baby.
stupid white branch strategies that actually make the run riskier, but
Oh,
you
that's
just anyways.
I've never seen somebody set up RTSR that way that Dino just did. Like instead of dropping down the steps with like a little walk, he just elected to drop down next to the steps, which is just more streamlined and
That's like
better.
speedrun RTSR.
Yeah. And so we want to aggro this guy, so he's just much easier to pass because like he has an attack that's very quick. If you try to run past him directly, that can be hard to dodge.
And Dina the Osiris, hopefully with the roll strats.
Hopefully with the rush. I love Squirrel's explanation. He was just like, I just wanted to see what would happen.
Confidence on that guy. Confidence.
And if you would get hit, like, oh, unfortunate.
I have the best clip of Dino on this, on the Osiris fight, and it's why I say Osiris is Dino's favorite boss.
Yeah, something about the huge balls.
Yeah, exactly.
I know this.
It's just a bulge. There's no
Oh, man.
actual balls.
But can it be the balls in the bulge?
Maybe they got
Oh.
sucked up somehow. Well, that'd be unfortunate.
Oh no.
Maybe let's not delve into that.
Yeah.
I was gonna say maybe they never descended to begin with, but he has a baby, so that's clearly not the case.
So he definitely hides something in this bulge.
Maybe he got a vasectomy after the baby because, maybe the whole family life wasn't for him.
That was kind
That's
of
Maybe this
scary
room
right
is just
there.
really cold.
There you go.
Also, I don't know if
Wow.
you guys noticed that, but Osiris did not want to attack Dino.
He just kept pivoting.
He just kept
Started
turning
pivoting with them,
around,
yeah.
and not like the tail attack turn around, but he was like facing him.
Yeah,
He was like,
just kept readjusting and readjusting.
He's like, am I
"Holy
going to do the charge? Am I going to do it? Am I going to do it?
You never know.
Dude, Osiris is literally just like anxiety simulator.
Yeah,
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 my
pretty
God.
much. Dude, my heart is pounding with that fight every time. Like it doesn't matter how many times you fight him, your heart's just gonna be going like.
I really need to count how many times I yelled, "I'm fucking stuck in this fight."
Honestly, it's a good boss. The arena is so shit.
It really
Yeah.
is, yeah.
I mean, the only thing is that there's the insta charge.
That is
Yeah.
very annoying, yes, definitely.
this
But
is
also,
interesting.
Arena makes it a lot.
I wonder if the
harder.
spec gets stuck on this door, and Dino's exploiting it.
Or he's trying to hit
It
it
does,
through
yeah.
the door with his fire bombs.
Yeah.
This was actually the same strat I used on the weird boss order run. It looks like it's not hitting it though. It's too far to the right.
I would sit at the bonfire for him.
What is Dino doing?
Or maybe wait for him to de-aggro.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna just reset.
He wants the
bonfire.
RTSR though.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh. Better take this L and just fight him with Eloids.
So has Kazoodle already gone through the Wyvern?
Yes, and he's on his way to Nameless. He's setting up at the moment.
Wait, did he get hit on the way to Wyvern or on Wyvern?
No, why?
Or is that his normal splits? Okay, I'm reading his splits wrong. I'm seeing yellow.
No, his splits are differently called.
I looked at the rest of his splits and I realized that wasn't the case.
Oh, now he's getting him. Oh, you can see his head poking through the hinges.
He needs
I
to
think
not
that's
get
what
too
he
close though,
wanted. For
because
some
he can
reason,
do
he
the
didn't. Oh, he can do the long neck attack.
he can do
you're
the
right.
noodle neck attack. Yeah.
Yep,
Really?
noodle necks.
For the hit? Oh my god, he.
Yeah,
I never
that's
seen
why
that
you don't
stat.
get too close to that doorway.
Wow,
Holy.
it clips through everything.
Dude.
Oh, and now he's lost the.
Elastic
Yeah, he's not
snack.
gonna get now.
Oh no. Ooh.
Oh, this
I
is
wonder
terrifying.
does Dino know the branch strat, which is way safer.
Oh my god,
Because
the
that-
most difficult boss for Dino right here.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's like, screw Osiris, this guy though.
He might have to go buy more fire bombs.
Yeah, I don't know.
I legitimately think that Nameless King is the worst fight in DS3.
Oh
Why?
no.
You're gonna
I-
trigger some people by that statement.
Oh, I
Yeah,
know.
worst
I'm
fight.
going to
I'll,
trigger.
gi-
No,
I'll give it to you on first phase. I'll give it to you on first phase.
that's what I'm saying. Is first phase is a fight with camera, and then second phase just feels like a bog standard fight. And so I think a lot of times like people were like, Nameless is such an amazing fight, and I'm just like, to me, there's nothing special about it. Watch,
I just like it because it's so
50
cinematic.
people just leave right now.
Check that viewer count, see that like 40
You
viewer
betrayed-
time. But
You betrayed us, Junkie.
I know.
No, I honestly, I don't think that's Nameless is anything special. There are way cooler bosses, in my opinion.
I mean, it's a fun fight with Nameless proper, but like I said, I will agree. The first phase is just shit.
Yeah.
it's funny with range strats where he'll just if you stay at enough range, half the time he'll just go completely passive and just slowly walk at you the entire fight.
Yeah.
Backflip your
Freaking
all
edge lord.
bosses sorcery run. Was
Yeah,
the
he just
most
gave it to me. He just
mind-boggling thing.
completely gave me the fight.
And like you'll
I
see,
didn't want to
it'll
fight
walk
you
around
anyway.
him this way. One important thing: if you roll that lightning when he slams down, you can get hit by the lightning if you don't roll again. It like changes the position somehow.
Yeah, hopefully he knows that. But he doesn't have to deal with a lot of these dudes as well. Oh,
So
we can
sure
see Dino fights him without parries with
Ah, oh my
Gundy.
god!
There you
This
go.
is the
Yeah,
moment
this
I've
is
been waiting
the
for.
no parry Champ Gunder.
This is where you see the true Olympic gold medalist Gunder in action
Yeah.
with the kicks and everything.
Now, one of the things I love about the way Dino tackles this fight is because he doesn't parry. He just does not feel comfortable with it.
That's
If
fair.
you don't have to, you shouldn't parry because parries only speed up the process. But well, if you can't feel with it, hell yeah.
Yeah, and I'll admit, I've had partial parries on Gunder as well, so it can
Yeah.
happen. Anytime you parry, you can get a partial, period. No matter how many times you've done it.
So when it comes to like exceptional safety, this is the way, definitely.
So Kazoodle still has one boss left.
2 bosses.
Two,
He haven't killed
ODK and
ODK yet.
Tree Balls.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
He's mopping up their last 2 right now, which he has pretty good bonfires for both, so this is going to go quick.
And you
Yeah.
can see, like, this is interesting because he's keeping a medium distance away from him to provoke him to do his combos and then punish.
Yeah, which is very
I
smart.
I really like this style.
Something else we noticed is that Dino doesn't parry with a shield when he does parry. So like on Pontiff, he does bare hand. That might be why he doesn't feel comfortable parrying.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
also true. You're right. Yeah,
Yeah, it's a
because then you have to
preference.
pull out the sword, and you won't get that extra hit in, which is typically what most people do before they actually do the riposte.
And just the timing window is so much more precise with barehanded parries.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a fact. With small shield, it's easier. You just simply have more parry frames.
Mm-hmm.
And you can use bundles and resins, whatever you please.
Exactly. Where if you put your weapon away, it negates your buff.
Zoodle said he doesn't have the best ODK. To be honest, does anyone have a good ODK? Every time I just
No,
walk into
everybody
this
just
fight
gets
and
through
I
it.
just wing it. Like,
Yeah, pretty much. Nobody really has a precise strat for it. We just kind of like go in there and just start hitting them.
It's one of those fights
I
you don't
mean-
necessarily need the most precise strat for, so you just kind of see what happens.
He's just an old man. Like, just go beat up on him, right?
yeah.
What's he gonna do?
I think
I
they,
remember when
they
I
send
first,
you to.
I
Call
remember
his
when I
mom.
first discovered that he just sits there and does not attack you after the AOE. I just stood there and like stared at him and felt bad for him. I sat down next to him and everything. I was like, "It's okay, buddy."
Have a
And then
nice
someone
little
in my
therapy
chat
session
said,
with
"Just
him.
put him out of his misery."
Yeah, you like defeated his body, but you had to crush his spirit first. You just had to mock his pride before you finished him.
Yeah. From poop at him and stuff.
So, what is each of your favorite bosses?
In this game or Souls in general?
We'll say this game.
I'm
Absolutely.
for all boss. I'm gonna say a junkie, nameless.
You're fired.
For all you're fired. for all content, my favorite boss is definitely like a tie between Madeira and Gale, I would say.
For me, it's Demon Princess. Just amount of tech you can do in this fight. It's very satisfying to pull off every time, and it's a very good fight, in my opinion.
Oh, Demon Prince is excellent. Yeah, I agree. They're definitely in top 5 for me.
For vanilla bosses, because I don't have a whole lot of experience with all content. Honestly, probably Osiris.
Blech.
No cap.
No, I think he's fun to fight.
I saw Eden puking in his mouth coming, but I mean I can see why he's a good fight too, because after like some people like V Sweat and Gino kind of explained it, like you're not in control of that fight. You're on his turf basically.
Yeah.
You know
What
what's
about least
good?
favorite boss? Sorry, go ahead.
You know
Ian.
what's the good control fight? It's Twin Princess. That's a good control. You're in the
Yeah,
territory.
honestly.
Yeah, I like Twin Princess a lot too.
Okay, so least favorite.
Deacons.
I mean, from obvious like Deacons.
Deacons.
And like
Yeah.
All right,
say,
so aside from Deacons,
aside from Deacons.
Deacons.
Aldrich for me. It's definitely Aldrich for me. Like no competition.
Really? Aldrich is amazing. Like
I don't know why. I just
Phase
don't
2
like him.
Aldrich is so much fun with how you have to like navigate around all the fire trails he leaves.
I don't know. I would have to say probably Gravetender. I really fucking hate Gravetender.
yeah, actually, I'm gonna
That's
have to go with Gravetender for DLC
Yeah.
for sure. For base game, I'm not sure off the top of my head. Aside from like, I know like Osiris is a popular choice for most hated boss, but I want to go for
Oh,
something
Half-Life.
different here. Like
Oh
with-
God.
I know
Is
you hate to hear it.
Gravetender a hated boss once you start doing no-hit runs? Is this another Deacon situation where you don't hate Gravetender until you start going for no-hit?
Actually, that's a situation where I've always hated that little pantsless fuck. But as far as the wolf part, I really enjoy that part of the fight. Actually,
Yeah, Wolf is pretty okay, but just oh my god, every NPC fight is just so ridiculous.
I would say Frida
Wilhelm,
would be the exception for sure.
I wouldn't say Frida is exactly an NPC. She doesn't act like one.
No,
She
you're
doesn't
right.
She
roll
has
every
like her
single
own
attack.
moveset.
Yeah.
This is true as well.
I kind of wish there were more bosses like Frida, honestly. Like in Bloodborne, there's a ton of them, like Gehrman and
Maria.
Gascoigne and all that stuff. And yeah,
Yeah, and Bloodborne NPC bosses, so to speak, are known to bug out a lot. Every single one of them. There's not a single one that doesn't have a meme. Like Gammon, Maria, Gascoigne, all of them you mentioned, all of them. Oof.
But I would say the NPC bosses in Bloodborne are far more interesting than DS3, in my
Yeah, that
opinion.
is true. Yeah, that is true. Also Zulu, GG, 220, 240,
GG Kazoodle.
There we go.
7.
222, not
full
bad.
hit. Yeah.
It's crazy
Really
to
nice
think
run.
how fast a lot of runners run too, because like that used to be like any percent, 222.
Yeah,
or
back in the
something.
day. Yeah,
You know what I
definitely.
mean?
I think that was definitely my first 90%, like 220, 215. GG to Zul. He did a fucking stellar job.
All right, let's get Kazoodle in here. Have some words.
Have some words with Kazoodle.
Man, great run from all of these runners today.
Oh,
And Dino on the
sub
last leg
5
as
is
well.
very respectable, I would say.
Oh, yeah.
Huge.
And to do it on demand like that, sub 5 is amazing. Honestly.
Exactly.
Hello.
Good job.
Hey,
Welcome,
Kazoodle.
Kazoodle. Great
Welcome,
run,
Excellent
dude.
run, Kazoodle.
Thank you so much.
Hold on, let me turn you down a notch.
Yeah, you're so loud.
I'm loud. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're
No,
fine.
you're
You're fine. Let me
worried.
fix
Not
that
your
on my
fault.
side. All right,
Okay.
let's see. How are you doing?
I'm
Now you're
pretty
quiet.
fine right
Hold
now.
on.
I'm quiet. I'm not. Is it okay?
No, it was
Test.
just me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm really fine. I cough all the time and my lungs are burning, but I'm fine.
Oh no.
um, 2 weeks ago, I started practicing this run for this tournament. By the way, awesome tournament. Thank you so much for that you're having me.
Thank
Of
you so much
course,
for
of course.
participating.
And yeah, my goal was to run in this tournament and try to be a little bit consistent and try to get a sub 10. And now I got a 4 and I'm really happy.
I mean,
That's
sub
amazing.
5 period is amazing for just tournament run in general. So great job.
Yeah, I
Thank
mean,
you so much.
Especially learning this run on short notice. Fantastic work, Kazoodle. You did amazing.
Thank you so much, Big Flippios.
for sure, for sure. Yeah.
Thank you all.
So were there any parts of your run that you were really concerned about, or was there anything that kind of got you maybe a little bit tilted or anything?
The thing with the beacons, it was I was I don't know. I was just running. I thought, okay, we're fine, but yeah, then
It was
the
a pretty
fireball
unlucky
came.
hit.
Yeah, Pontiff. So Pontiff is not. It was not like really greeted. It was because yesterday I had the worst stream of my life running this run. I got so many hits, and one of them was Pontiff. I don't know what happened. I was too slow, and I thought today I want to do this mistake better and be a little bit faster, But it was too greedy. Yeah.
What about
the
that that phase through hit?
Which hit?
You talking Champion
Oh.
Gunder where
It wasn't a
they
true
they
hit,
both
but-
just
Oh
whiffed?
man, that was.
Oh yeah, there was just what happened there. It was so stupid. But yeah, it was
Had a great
I guess it
reaction, Kazoodle.
I think both you and Gunder had the same reaction to that. Like, what the hell?
Yeah, it was. I don't know what had happened, but okay, I was a little bit lucky there. Yeah, the rest was fine for me. I'm really happy. Holy shit, sub 10, sub 5.
You're showing really good
You did
consistency
fucking
on this
great.
run.
Thank you all. Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you all for casting this, doing this. Holy shit. Junkie, I love you.
Of course,
So,
of
serious.
course.
Josh,
Oh my gosh, we
too.
love you, Zoodle.
Kiss,
Oh
kiss,
my
kiss.
god.
To all of you, to all the viewers, kiss, kiss. Love you all.
Indeed. So, Kazuto, just before you bounce out, what'll happen is we're gonna let Daniel finish up here for the early bracket. Then we'll also let the late bracket go, and I will notify then who's in the finals.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay. Yep.
Wait, you mean
Alright.
late bracket right after this one? Or?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
10
Well,
PM?
late bracket's gonna happen at 1 p.m. Pacific time.
We're gonna have a 2-hour break then.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
wait,
So,
I'm dumb. Sorry.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, late bracket will happen, and then we'll take top 4 from all the runners, and those will go to the finals tomorrow.
Alrighty. Okay. Then
So-
thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kazoodle.
Have a nice evening, you all, and Eden, good luck, man.
Have a good
you,
night,
man.
Kazoodle.
Bye bye.
Fantastic
Good night.
job, Kazoodle. Sleep well.
Thank you.
Thank you
Sleep
for being in
well.
this.
Thank you.
And guys, if y'all are here and you do not know Squilla or Kazoodle or Dino Guile or any of these amazing casters we have, you owe it to yourself to go follow them up. All really amazing runners, really amazing streamers. It's an honor to have them here.
No, you.
No, you.
Okay, Dino approaching the last boss. I can
Okay, guys.
I can see a lot of sweat on his forehead. A little
Yeah.
bit.
Okay, here's the question. Here's the question we all need to ask ourselves. If he defeats Nameless Hitless, and his only hit is to screwing up a red tearstone setup,
Yeah,
exactly
it's basically
how
a
much
flawless
shit are we
run.
giving him?
Let's
Oh
not
my
mention
Exactly
that.
how much are we going to not let him live this down?
Oh,
I mean, I may mention what happened with an RTSR situation, but I don't know.
he's gonna be so mad at himself. I can see it. He's gonna be like,
Well, I think we're automatically giving him like a
What if
50
the
hit
late
penalty for
bracket
that.
gets a 0-hit run?
Well, obviously, Gravity is the hardest boss in Dark Souls, as we all know.
obviously.
True.
Absolutely.
The great equalizer.
That's right.
Yeah. Sometimes, like even in no hit runs, the gravity wins. That's just how it goes.
And Gravity wins every fight you get into with it.
Mm-hmm. Like people think that they start no hit runs that they don't have to worry about gravity anymore. It's just not the case. I'm sorry, guys. Sorry, that's the hard truth.
I mean, we tried our best. We allowed Spook, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I was hoping a couple of people would die for not activating Spook.
You're right. So
Well, that's
Junkyard
the
Plessy,
reason
the
you
secret-
permitted Spook. You wanted to
the
see
secret
some
reason.
rat falls.
Everybody did Spook in this bracket, right?
Squilla
didn't.
Yeah,
Yes.
Squilla did not. Was a speedy boy. He ain't got time for that.
Nope. He wanted to say hi to
Fine.
Big Red Joey and Margaret, so
Really nice nameless fight here from Dino.
everything's clean so far. Now he's standing right up against him. This will provoke stabs. Alternative way to provoke it is to keep your distance, actually. You can basically provoke him to do long range attacks that he has long recoveries for.
Yeah, that's true. Although I feel like when you're close to him, he's way more likely to do it.
For some reason, I can
Basically,
never.
at the end of every combo, almost.
For some reason, I can never get like centered on him when I'm doing this strat. So
Yeah, because he's thin like a wig, dude. I always roll behind him too.
He's like curved a little bit, so you end up like rolling past him sometimes.
yeah, nameless with them curves.
You're trying to face roll him.
He's taking his time. He knows he has the upper hand.
So his armor makes him look kind of buff, but it's obvious he's all like, it's like, pumped up. Do you think underneath that he's got a dad bod?
100%
Probably
dead.
Oh,
now.
definitely.
Yeah, he's got
Dude,
a
he
dad
was just
bod.
chilling with his chicken, drinking some beers, and then we showed up and had to try and fight him.
Right. And then he got really mad when we killed his chicken. So
So mad that he actually killed his chicken again.
yes,
Yeah, it's basically like taking away somebody's mobility scooter at Walmart.
Oh my oh man.
I mean, that's what you're doing here. And he
poor
clearly
Nameless,
didn't
dude.
need it. He clearly is capable of getting around on his own. He's one of those jerks who just takes one of the mobility scooters, but he doesn't need it. He's just
He doesn't
lazy.
actually need it, right?
No! Oh my god! Okay, it disappeared.
Oh man. Okay. So yeah. So if you kill Nameless when the lightning goes up, it does disappear. So
Wow.
we are. That was like
GG.
the 0
One
hour.
hit.
The 0 hour hit to kill.
Dino currently in the lead.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
As we
Sure.
said, slow and
Excellent run.
steady. Oh my god, the kish.
Oh man, monkey toss.
Oh,
Sorry, Junkie. We gotta take you down.
but you coming in
I've
with
got to
the-
take a ban. Yep, of course. So how
Oh my
bad are
God,
we gonna
such a
rib him
cute
about
couple.
that death?
we
So
may
bad.
mention some words about certain situation.
All right, and he needs to show us his time and level.
Yep. He
Yes.
needs to show us his time. Yeah, and so one thing that we're gonna do after this is we're actually gonna review all the clips like live on stream, and so we're gonna have some commentary around them.
Wait,
I'm sorry,
is
you're
he-
cutting out.
Yeah, you kind
Can you say that
of.
again?
Yep. Cool.
So there's his level,
All right. Gonna see if we can get Dino in here.
and then the
239.
time. Nice.
Cool. All right.
Guys, if you don't mind, I will leave now. I will prepare. And hope you guys don't mind.
Yeah,
Good
yeah,
luck,
no
good
worries.
luck,
All
Evan.
good.
2 hours to start. I'm thinking about putting one more run in.
Absolutely, dude. Best of luck to you.
Okay, bye bye.
See
Thank
you
you guys
guys.
for having me. And see you guys in 2 hours.
All right.
All right. So we're gonna give Dino a minute to pop in, and which clip which hit do we want to review first?
So what you cut out earlier when you were saying this, but what were you saying about the review and the clips?
Oh yeah. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna review all the hits live on stream, and that way we can kind of talk.
Yeah,
about
we're
them.
gonna review them.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get Dino in here.
All right, cool.
Room.
Hello.
Hey guys,
Dino,
hi.
hello.
hello, hello.
Dino,
Very, very
amazing
good
job,
Let me
dude.
turn you down.
Oh
just a tiny bit.
shit!
Great.
I'm
right.
I'm
So,
still a slow boy, but we did
That's
pretty
okay.
pretty
Oh,
okay.
and steady, man. You the tortoise.
So so we were wondering, was there an incident that happened that where Gravity said hello to you?
Yeah, that was the only hit we got. I was like I was in. Normally I'm doing Soulsborne runs, right?
Mhm.
And there's the mercenary HP bar, and you can do disrupt
yeah.
twice. And I was just
Mhm.
talking with chat and do the mercenary
You
setup.
just kind of muscle memoried over.
Yeah,
I could see that. Like
Yeah.
I know normally for SO1, normally I would drop down from like the very top and then the very front left.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
That's
I
what
think
I
you do the
normally
same setup, right?
Yeah, but I just did twice from the top, and I died. But that's okay.
But you know what? It's a flawless run, and nonetheless,
We
so,
actually got
yeah.
the run 3
Almost
days ago,
flawless.
so
That's so cool.
so GG on that as
I'm-
well. Hell yeah.
I'm pretty satisfied. How did Zoodle and Squill were pretty fast,
Uh,
right?
Zoodle was what 222, and he did 4 hits. And Squill, I think he had 3 hits.
Yeah,
correct?
Squill had 3 hits.
Yeah,
It's
he was,
at sub
156.
2 hours, just under 2 hours.
Yeah, he was very fast. Like, he was
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
so
as expected,
basically,
since he was already doing runs with speed runnings and stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, what happened
He no
was
rolled Osiros.
Yeah.
you
No rolled. It was like, yeah, chat told me. He know like what a mad lad. How did he even do that? I don't even know how to do that.
Squilla was
He didn't
I wanna
decide that. He
basically
was just
finishing
seeing
up.
what would happen.
I want to say
Whenever-
thank you guys for setting up this tournament and casting and everything.
Of course,
It's it's like finally there's another tournament, right? I'm so glad.
Totally.
Thank you very much.
Thank you
Dino,
for
it's so great
participating
having
in this, Dino. Thank you for learning the run like 2 weeks before you had to do it.
And
Yeah.
you standing at a good chance of getting to the finals, so that's pretty amazing.
Everyone in the
so
next round would have to no-hit the run.
Yeah. So four players will. So it's from everyone basically.
Yeah.
Okay, I see.
And
So,
in event of a tiebreaker, we would base that off of time.
And now it's the second round, right? Right away.
Yeah. So at 1
Okay.
p.m., so 2 hours from now, we will do the late bracket.
So
It's currently 11 a.m. where I'm at. So in 2 hours, we'll start the late bracket. What we're going to do now is we're going to like review all of the hits kind of on stream. But also we'll take a little bit of a break. To figure out who goes on into the finals, we're going to wait till the late bracket is done, and we're going to take the top 4 out of everybody who has run today, regardless of like what bracket they're in. And then we'll notify everybody.
Okay. So I'm ending my stream now. I don't raid the tournament channel right now, right?
You don't have to. It's up to you.
Oh, you're actually you're staying live for all that. Okay, I'm going to raid. Of course. Thank you so much, guys. I'm going to end the stream right now. See you.
Excellent job, Dino, and have a good night.
Yeah, thank you very much. No, you'll see me in chat later. I'll be here for the second round. Thank you very much, guys.
Of course.
See you later.
Thank you. All right, so let's go ahead and start pulling up the clips. First up, I want to say a couple of thanks, not only to everybody who has already run, that's Dino Sengail, Kazoodle, and School of Killa. They all did a phenomenal job. I mean, these runs are not easy, leveled, let alone soul level 1.
Considering like all 3 runners just banged out a -5 run is pretty insane.
Yeah,
for sure.
5, I should say. -5 1 would be insane.
For sure. And then on top of that, I want to say thank you to everybody who is casting. Backflipius, Vinny Vega, Eden Issues, Zero Salt Show. It's been a lot of fun.
It's been a blast, man. Thanks for having me.
Of course.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate it as well.
Of course, thank you so much, Junkie. Guys, I don't know if y'all know, but Junkie has put in so much work into making this happen, into making the amazing, smooth-looking scenes. And
I'm loving the overlays. I'm loving the transition so far, Junkie. You're doing an amazing job.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you so much. Show your love to Junkyard, guys.
I'm going to go ahead and pull up our first clip. But yeah, so we actually a couple of days ago, or yesterday I don't remember what day it is. I've lost track of time. Been working on this like so much. But we actually figured out how to do like replays, and so I never found like a good time to like do a replay of a hit, but we can review these. So here's
once the runners get past Pontiff, it's all high octane stuff from there. So yeah,
for sure. All right, so here is the first clip, and this should have been a Deacon's hit for Kazoodle. So we'll give it a second to pop up.
So basically, he was like almost certainly safe.
Mm-hmm.
But
no, if you look in the corner of the screen, you can actually see just a flicker.
Yeah, we can review this.
So basically, ideally, with this hit, you want to turn your camera towards the Deacons as you're running away, just in case a fireball flies at you, because they could do it almost instantaneously at any time.
This thing was working perfectly the other day. Oh, here it goes. All right, so he goes and he's running away, and he takes the fireball hit. He's trying to get around.
Oh, I see it.
So did you see that, Josh? That little flicker?
Yeah, on the very edge.
He was turning.
He holds his candlestick up.
So, like, anybody would have got hit by that, honestly, because you barely can see it.
The only other way he could have been able to know about it is if his sound effects volume was turned way up, and then he could hear the fireball.
Right.
But, yeah, Nelsky said he said he couldn't hear it, so there was no way he could have known it was coming.
But also, like, with this game, sometimes sound just bugs out.
That's true, yeah.
Lol.
Sometimes the sound effect
Yeah,
just
you either need
Da
to
kam, ich hab aber auch nix. Habt ihr
keep
den
your
Feuerball
camera turned
gehört?
so
Ich
you
hab
can
keinen
see that
gehört.
coming,
Ich hätte noch
or what I often do is I'll angle my run so I'm always running perpendicular to them so that they don't have a clean shot at me, so that I'll strafe it even if I don't see it coming in. But that is always a risk when you go with that phase transition, is the hit in the back.
And if you notice, he attacked the last deacon while they were all turning towards him, and he ran back the way that they were already turned. So if alternatively, if he would have ran the opposite way, less likely for that to happen.
Oh, yeah, because they their turning
Lol.
radius is so crap.
Da
You
kam,
loop
ich hab aber
around
auch
and
nix. Habt
they
ihr den
can't turn
Feuerball
around in
gehört? Ich hab
time.
keinen gehört. Ich hätte noch mal.
Hey, welcome everybody from Dino's stream. Dino, thank you so much for the raid.
Yeah, we're just reviewing Kazoodle's first hit, I believe is what it was.
Yeah. So basically, ideally, he either would have had his camera facing behind him or he would have gone the other direction in order to strafe any rogue fireballs.
But either way, you ideally want your camera facing the crowd, just in case there's that one random deacon facing you already.
Da kam, ich hab aber auch nix. Habt ihr den Feuerball gehört? Ich hab keinen gehört.
So we're gonna go ahead and pull up the next clip. This will be a clip of Skula, and this one is a fire hit, from my understanding.
The fire witch, the second fire witch in Irithyll.
Goof up this part.
So this one actually has a pretty straightforward explanation. So as you can see, he ran right away.
That didn't work.
And 90% of the time, you are safe when you get to that. Oh, I just noticed something. So
now it's probably an
he was
explanation
to
of
the
why that
left
didn't
of
work,
that
but it's been
centerpiece
so long
there.
that I can't really remember.
When that actually opened up for that hit. If he was more centered, he wouldn't have got hit there. I just noticed that.
Let's take another look at it.
Goof up this part.
So ordinarily, when you're doing this strat, you want to wait till he starts moving, like aggroing towards you, and then go. He won't do the fire trail. But as you can see, he went to the left, like by that like pillar type thing. And
you want to be
probably an explanation of why that didn't work.
Exactly.
So safe zone is right between those two against the wall there. So he might have still been safe if he had done that instead. But he's been doing a lot more speed running and not no hit running. So little things like that are.
Yeah, sometimes little nuanced details will escape you if you haven't done a proper no hit run in a while.
Yeah.
So
there's so many little details in these runs where if you're just like one little like step off or anything, it's not a safe strat is no longer safe.
Right. My understanding of what happened in this clip is he was using the white branch. He as soon as he saw that the fire witch had activated, the fire witch does the fire trail, and that fire trail looped back around. Is that right?
So yeah. The fire trail for the fire witches are extremely buggy. It's like we were talking about earlier. Sometimes you'll see it coming, sometimes you'll hear it coming, sometimes you won't see either of the two or one or the other, and it could really just throw you off. Like you'll just be standing there, and all of a sudden, boom, you get hit, no sound or nothing. You know.
And then this is where it loops back around right here.
Could be in contention for one of the more dangerous enemies in this run, up there with like dogs and stuff.
Oh yeah, dogs are a huge issue. And I was honestly surprised. I don't think anybody got hit by a dog, did they?
Dino came close. Yeah, he came
really close.
Really close.
So scary.
Okay.
Well, that's something we should have asked him about. Is the the whole dog chase there in the cathedral.
If Dino's still in chat, like I'm sure that was Monka W for you.
Right.
So scary.
All right, so we're gonna move on to the next clip. This is gonna be a life drain tick for Squilla.
This was so close to not being a hit.
Yeah, it was actually. It's true. And it's really weird that the first one drained him and not the other ones.
That was
right there.
So ordinarily, when you're running past like this, that one on the bridge is going to be the one that inevitably drains you. But it was the first one that did it in this case. So
and
somehow
when they drain a lot more health than that.
Yeah, this seemed like it was just like one, maybe two ticks of life drain.
So what happened here is Squilla was literally frames away from being in the clear. So if you put a wall between you and the jailer, it can no longer drain you. So as you can see, the second his health bar ticks, that wall crosses the gap or closes the gap between the two.
He would have been fine if he had rolled there. If he had just
Yeah.
rolled as he was rounding that corner.
Literally just hub roll, just like,
But if
spam
he would have
roll, you're
rolled,
totally
he
fine.
probably would have got drained by the second one anyway.
That's very possible.
Oh yeah.
Unless
he's
he just
sprinting this
hop rolled
whole
all the way.
basically.
So just for those who may not be familiar with terminology, whenever we talk about a tick of life drain, what exactly are we talking about?
We're talking about like when the jailer stares at you, the longer they stare at you, your health just ticks down to basically nothing. It can't kill you with the stare, but it will make it where you're like just one shot.
It drains your maximum health is what it is. Like you don't see anything on the red bar. What you see is just past the red bar, the maximum amount that the life bar can fill up actually goes down a very, very small amount.
And it doesn't do
To
it
be
all at
counted
once
as a hit
either. It
there.
basically does it in it does it gradually.
Yes,
And
and range does affect it as well.
oh, I didn't
does
know
it?
that.
So if you're farther away, it's a less of a tick. If you're closer, it's much, much faster, much larger chunks.
Really?
Yep, I've done testing in this area actually. That was back when I thought each tick counted as a hit.
Alrighty, so let's look at the next clip. This is going to be a Pontiff Sullivan clip for Kazoodle.
Oh, this was during the phase transition, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He ran out of stamina, so he couldn't get out.
So, I see what you're saying. Yeah. So basically, like as soon as you see Pontiff get on his knees, you basically just gotta bail. Like as soon as you start seeing him drop down.
Like if you take 4 swings there and you are just
and also
and you
I
don't
just
hit
noticed
as early as possible,
he was kind of on the side of Pontiff as well. When you're behind Pontiff, it forces him to turn before he actually gets down. So like you actually get like an extra second of breathing room, typically.
So
can you get 4 hits in there safely if you are right behind him at the beginning of phase transition?
I believe
just barely.
Yeah, just barely.
But you have to mash roll.
I think I saw Squilla do 4 hits if I remember correctly.
Because what you have to do is basically drain your stamina, and then you just have to smash that hop, that roll. I was about to say mash that hop roll, but you just gotta mash that roll as quickly as possible.
That
was really, really tight.
There is no way to actually avoid that if you're in range. There's you can't roll it or anything like that, can you?
I think you can iframe it, but the ticks it does it so frequently that as soon as you're out of iframes, it'll hit you.
Yeah.
Or startup frames. It can hit you during startup frames too.
Yeah, if you're on a first frame roll, basically what a first frame roll is when your character is literally about to do the animation of the roll, but there's that little frame right before you actually form the roll where you can get hit. So sometimes your feet will literally be off the ground about the roll, but you'll still get hit.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So now we're going to go on to it seems like we're doing the Kazoodle highlight reel here. This is DSA. It's just these are, I'm going down the list in our hits channel. It's just in
the order they occurred, pretty much.
Basically, that's what's happening.
So from what I remember from seeing the clip, it looked like we didn't have a sound obviously, but it may have been he heard the little meatballs coming and he sort of panicked out of there.
I think he panics out of there. He does the punish and he just kind of panics out.
Yep. You can see
as you can see
right
he
after.
Yeah.
And
so in that situation, when you hear the meatballs, you hear that wind up before they start launching. If you would have done one hit, he probably would have been fine there. instead of 2. But probably his muscle memory, because you typically would punish twice on that, just kind of like carried him that way. And then he was like, oh shit, I got to get out of here. And that's when he got roll caught.
So,
Because
this
And he had time for the meatballs.
This second phase
definitely.
of DSA is if the longer you're in it, the riskier it kind of seems, because you're getting attacked from 3 different angles.
Mm-hmm.
If you are really comfortable with the audio cues and really comfortable with your positioning, it's actually kind of cozy. So, like, if you ever watch, Eden Issue or Sounds Tricky on their like runs that they've been working on lately, which was SL1, no upgrades, no infusions. They're in this fight for a really long time.
It's like 10-minute fight, something like
And
that.
it's very
Is it really?
too. It's really long, yeah.
Man.
And
it's
the
all
first
positioning
phase
based.
is
It's like 40
pretty.
chess.
Yeah, exactly. First phase is pretty comfy, period. Like, it doesn't matter what your level is
Yeah.
and what your strength is. But once you get the second phase, so many variables can happen with how the butterflies attack, especially if you have a bad combination.
All right. Let's go ahead and
This
move
is
on.
a very understandable hit.
We're going to go ahead and look at a Cinder hit for Skula.
Oh, I think this was just like terrible RNG. I think, or maybe he got, I think it was a Soul Mass, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, it was
Soul Mass
Soul Mass
killed
got
him.
him.
Dang it, Soul Mass. What did we tell you about that?
Okay, so he's fighting him like normal here with the mage, and this is what happened.
Yeah.
He went into curved
Soul
sword
Mass and
phase.
curved sword this is bad.
It's the bane of no hits, because like you have to.
And with the poison
Jeez.
cloud there, oh, that was a horrible setup.
So
It's
his
almost
cam
like the
angle on
only thing he
that.
could have done is like boned.
Well, what was really impressive was he actually rolled through the poison cloud and didn't take any tick from that.
Yeah, your iframes will save you as long as it's like a thin enough cloud. That's what it looked like there. That poison,
Poison
if you
cloud
are in
itself
it
doesn't
though,
do damage until you get the poison buildup, until
Right.
the poison proc. So you can be a little bit in it for a second.
but as you can see, that tick went up very fast. He was already at half poison just being in it for a second.
Yeah. And of course, being completely naked, you have naked and soul level 1, you have no poison resist at all. So you can be in it for a little bit, but not more than a second or 2.
Exactly.
And could he have actually made it out of this alive, like without getting hit?
If he would have rolled to the left instead of straight back on that last roll, yes.
Yeah.
I'm almost thinking maybe he should have gone straight back in general. Like, part of his problem there was going kind of back into the poison cloud, like.
Mm-hmm. And kind of obstructed his view a little.
Maybe. Well, let's see. At this time here, I'm thinking like just immediately start getting back instead of running left here. Like immediately just start getting more distance.
Yeah.
It was just that last roll backwards.
Mm-hmm. Like if he would have stayed the course that he was going, he probably would have been safe there in that situation.
Ultimately, a very, very hard hit to avoid.
Yeah, that was a bad setup.
Literally everybody's been hit by it, and
Oh, yeah.
obviously, even if you're a veteran runner, you could still get hit by that combination. It's just so bad.
That's arguably the worst RNG you can get on Cinder.
And you're probably going to see it a lot the more you run SO1, any percent or all boss.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's one thing to kind of Monday morning quarterback to say what could have been done differently there, but to do it in the moment is an entirely different thing. So
yeah.
Oh yeah, and even Squilla himself can review the clip and say, "Oh shit, I should have done this instead." Like he knows this. Like we all know this too.
Absolutely.
Alrighty. So now let's look at Dinos and Gauss hit.
Now this one's going to be really tough to analyze. I don't know that like he could have done anything different. You know?
So as you could see, there's this angle that he dropped off the roof right there. So he dropped down right there. You know, normal RTSR setup. The first drop is pretty much whatever. You know.
But then look at this RNG that he gets here. It's absolutely disgusting.
I mean, look at he drops from that same roof, and somehow he took more damage. I just don't know. He doesn't
The
even know
RNG
why.
totally screwed him over.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's just, maybe if he was on the lower end of that roof, maybe he would have survived. I don't know, but
Should have praised the sun harder.
yeah, the chapel's right there. He could have done it. He could have done it. It's not that bad. There's only a couple archers and an axe guy to deal with to get there, but hey, and a knight.
Not enough
hey.
praying to RNGesus.
Do you think it had to do with the fact that he was at the very, very peak of that particular part of the roof? If he was a little lower, maybe?
Even if he was not at the peak of that roof, he would have died. So the normal setup for this is you would drop off the very top. Like normally what I do is I drop from the peak that he's on right now before I go to that little roof. And then I would drop down from the very front left of the roof itself. So not the roof, but like that little part where the ladder's connected to.
Oh, okay.
And that is 100% safe. You literally have like 3 or 4 HP left, but it's RTS
actually a slightly quicker way to do it, Vinny. You climb to the top of the ladder and then you immediately backstep off the ladder.
Uh-huh.
And then you climb up again and jump off the place he does here. That's the setup for any caster run. And
I didn't think about that actually, because you're right, because that's the same level that you would drop.
Yeah, as soon as you get up that ladder, you backstep off it and then you climb back up.
Oh, that's like
the quickest and easiest way to set up for SL1. The setup he's doing here for anybody who wants an actual explanation in our sarcasm and snark is that in Dark Souls 3, fall damage is actually reduced based on your dexterity.
Mm-hmm.
So for a normal Twin Blades run, you would at this point have at least 40 dexterity, and so you take a bit less fall damage. And so in order to get the RTSR set up here, you have to do 2 of these full falls.
That and you actually have like 1 more point of leveling in your health. You have 11 instead of 10.
Oh, yeah, mercenary start. That's right.
Okay.
But I mean, so, if you haven't died setting up RTSR, are you really a no-hit runner?
Yeah, seriously. I think we've all done it. I can't tell you how many times I've died to setting up RTSR, both here on SL1 and same situation. And also, Aldrich too. Aldrich stairs, like the spinning stairs when you set up for Aldrich.
Mm-hmm.
I've done that a couple times too.
Or in the classic sorcery run, you use the pestilent mist for a little bit too long, and
you didn't, and you die on the way out.
I've literally never done that. I've died a lot of dumb ways, but I've actually never had that happen to me.
All right, let's go ahead and move on to the next clip. This is a Prince's fight clip for Kazul.
From what I remember, this was like quick slam, which is probably one of the harder attacks to avoid. Because it comes at you very, very fast. I want to see what happens when he first teleports before that attack, because usually it happens after a teleport.
Right.
And for perspective, this fight is like probably one of the hardest in the game.
I know a fix for this. So basically, when he teleported, he was walking like directly into the teleport. If you're close to that teleport, it can obstruct your view of what he's actually doing. So ideally for this fight, you want to like sort of like walk backwards, like he does right there in that first clip. When he on the opening, when you walk backwards, you have a much better view and a much better chance of avoiding something.
It also it almost looks like the hitbox comes out earlier than you would expect. Like,
yeah, his kind of body has a hitbox, it looks like there.
Kind of bonks him on the top of the head, you know?
I've been hit by the hilt before I
yeah.
So the hitbox was a little early.
That hilt is dangerous.
So I have another fix for this. It's a little different from what you suggest, Vinny. So what I would do to correct for that is go to the fog wall and start rolling against it. So that
it's a really
and then I don't even have to learn the positioning or dodge timing.
It's extremely technical and it's very difficult to pull off correctly. But yeah, if you roll into that fog wall correctly, then you know.
Fun fact: first time I actually tried that for shits and giggles, I couldn't do it. Like I literally got hit every time.
I couldn't either. Straight up. Like
I'll
it,
fully admit that.
I would get like anxiety. I would get like the butterflies in my stomach, and I couldn't do the timing on the rolls consistently. It still makes me nervous to this day.
It gets a little hypnotic.
It does, yeah. You get some highway blindness.
All right. So after we watch this one more time, we're gonna view a real highlight of Kazoodle's run.
Oh, let's go.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. Are you excited about this? After we've watched what seems like clip after clip after clip of Kazoodle's run. So.
Oh, Kazoodle is a star after all.
It is absolutely, absolutely
beautiful, beautiful bean.
All right, so
oh yeah,
this was so cool and like extremely terrifying.
Well, what's crazy is that that hit. I know with other fights where there's like elevation situations, it can go like right over your head. But
it went right through.
This is a very flat arena.
But that was like leave even ground. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, that was even ground, and it still went over him. Like
I think we need to.
Yeah, that clearly went right through him. I don't know what's going on with the hitboxes there. I've seen things like that a couple times, but never quite that egregious.
But sometimes the hitbox just like works in your favor.
Well, the one thing
I don't know if that was quite his favor, because it looked like his parry timing was on. So if it actually connected, it would have been a parry, and it would have been the fight over there. And something like that can really throw off your rhythm. Like you're expecting a parry, but you don't get hit, but you don't get the parry either. And his ability to react to that, to like realize what had happened and keep going and finish this here. Very excellent.
Really that's actually impressive. A really good point, because I think most people, especially new runners, would kind of go, what happened? And then just go get hit and just laugh about what just happened anyway, you know?
Or be like, that was bullshit, you know? Like
something like that can just blank you. So great job, Kazoodle, to recover that and finish off the fight.
Yeah, I mean it takes a lot to have the mentality for that. Because like I have fought Gwen on a number of occasions and had that exact thing happen. And if you're not prepared for it, then it can really throw you off. And all of a sudden now you're like, you know, like you're scrambling to try to figure out what happened in the moment while also in a very dangerous situation.
Yeah.
Now, one of the things I want to point out here was the high ground thing I was kind of talking about earlier, the elevation change. It was the opposite of what I was thinking. I at first I thought like Gundyr was on the higher ground, but it turns out Kazoodle was on the higher ground, and that was a square. That would have normally been a square hit.
Most situations that would have connected, and he would have got the parry there. Because as we said, the parry time was still good.
Do we need to turn that face of Kazoodle's into like an emote?
Oh my god! I was
gonna say
that's one of those faces where like I don't think he can replicate that if he tried. And,
we need a Kazoodle face appreciation like moment here.
For sure. For sure.
And he full screened it too, which is perfect, which means you can turn that into an emote.
Now, Kazoodle, can we turn that into an emote? I will gladly make that, you know.
Can we use your likeness?
That's right. That's right.
Like likeness rights.
Oh, I'm sorry. I screwed it up. We do have one more clip after this one.
Ooh.
Also, Kazoodle mentioned Ultra Instinct. You know, he's like Goku, man.
That's right.
He just goes back into the game.
Goku confirmed.
Yeah.
There it is.
Waiting for the Super Saiyan. Waiting for the hair to go yellow, and
that was his pre-Super Saiyan face. But then he was like, "Oh, the fight's over. I don't have to do it."
Yeah.
All right.
He was ready too.
So y'all ready for probably what was the spiciest strat of all?
Yes.
We got Squilla Killer here.
I have a feeling I know what this is. Oh baby.
This
Osiris fight. It's gonna make no hit runners
roll
in their graves. Oh, he rolled. Okay, so he rolled.
Okay, so he rolled first phase, right?
But phase 2,
yeah.
This phase 2 is
But notice his position
Butt
here.
clenchingly
Like a
horrifying.
lot of the horizontal swipes when you're right on his, like, for lack of a better word, ball sack area. You're not going to get hit by that attack typically if you're right up against him. So this is where he just kind of like, you know,
Let's see what happens.
It's so
yeah, let's see what
scary.
happens. That's actually what Squilla said. See what happens.
But the fact that he did this fight in less than a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
it
a
can fit in a
clippable
clip
fight. Yeah, that's insane.
on SL1.
Yeah, it's astonishing. Like that was the
Like, we
entire
actu-
fight right there.
We watched the fog door and finish in
Yeah.
one clip.
Yeah, exactly.
So very fast fight, and also just basically begging Osiris to charge. Like, come on,
Yeah.
bro, do it.
You know
I
what
dare you.
would be kind of interesting is like if they had kept the tail cut weapons from Dark Souls 1.
Yeah.
I
think
actually did miss that, honestly, in this game.
That would have been a cool one for this.
They could have made it the Moonlight Greatsword, which is what you can transpose his soul for, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would have been so cool. Although his tail isn't a sword, so I guess, you know.
Well, neither is Seath's tail. It becomes a sword when you cut it off.
That's actually a very good
And
point.
Gaping Dragon's tail isn't a great axe. So
Yeah, what
Yeah.
gives From Software?
What is this magician magic stuff that's going on that turns tails into objects that they're not shaped in?
Wizard did it. You ain't gotta explain any more than that.
Magic. I don't know. Get Vati on the case. It's not our jobs.
Get Vati, I
Right.
know, right? Should we have like try to get Vati do some casting for one of these, and he tells the entire.
Can you
lore?
imagine Vadi commentating on one of these tournaments? Holy shit!
Wouldn't that be great?
So as you can see here, he's just kind of going through his legs, and you know, because he's going through his legs, Osiris is like, you know what? I'm just not going to charge this time. Make sure you also check me out on Patreon for the next boss explanation in these clips.
So if Osiris had done his spin attack here, would he have been able to kind of stay between the legs and stay at the center of it, or would he have had to roll then?
He probably would have had to roll that. I think the hitbox is also in the center of him as well.
I think the spin has a blind spot, but I don't know where it is.
I think I might have seen it once, maybe, but
Maybe
generally
it's the
speaking,
same as Gunder's blind spot that we saw.
Right. I don't know how reliable it would be, though. How
Yeah, right.
it would be.
So someone wanted to see Dino's nameless kill.
Yeah, while we're looking at highlights here.
Oh yeah, we definitely want to see that.
Yeah, if y'all have
we would have called
if
that
y'all have-
greed if it had failed, but since it didn't, we call it brilliant.
if y'all have any favorites, feel free to send them our way.
Also, there's something that V-Sweat used to do with this attack. If you look
Oh.
away from Nameless, the lightning won't hit you as well.
Wait, what?
Really?
Like, if you-
You can just like
If
turn
you
away from him?
around.
So if you unlock and literally turn your camera around the opposite direction, the lightning will just whiff. Like it just
Yeah, the
won't
lightning
hit
just
you.
disappears. It's just like it's
But
bizarre.
yeah, I agreed. Hit that worked out for
Aw.
sure.
It's not
But, like,
greed if it works, Dino.
Yeah,
it's not
true.
greed if it works.
It's not greed, it's style.
That was calculated.
Exactly.
But like, yeah, for some reason the lightning just doesn't connect to you if Nameless is dead. I have a theory to that. That it has to do with like Nameless is the controller of the lightning, and if he's not controlling it anymore, it just kind of shoots off somewhere. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's almost like okay, so I want to think about it like it's probably a weapon art. So it's like a weapon attack. Whereas like if you compare it to Cinder, it's a spell that he casts.
right.
So maybe spells will linger, but weapon arts will not.
So because the staff was like lowered and no longer controlling the lightning, it just kind of zoomed off to who knows where.
Who knows?
Really, I want to appreciate that Dark Souls is acting like a 3-year-old here. Because
What do you
Oh,
mean?
the object permanence issue.
yeah, it's like If I can't see it, it doesn't exist.
Yeah, pretty much.
I've talked about this a lot with the dogs, where if the dogs aren't on camera, they don't exist for the game, so the game will just spawn them in on top of you.
Yeah, very
It's
important to have the
object
camera
permanence.
on you,
Yeah.
for sure.
Pretty much. I love that, like, genuinely, one of my favorite things about these games is the ability that we have to, like, derive the way things work. Like, you know,
Right.
we don't look at, like, the code of things or anything like that. We can just kind of derive it from the behaviors of the games. And,
Mhm.
like, that's one of the most beautiful things about these no-hit runs and why they're so fun to watch.
Absolutely. And like there's actually like something tactical about what happens, like we mentioned with the dogs. Like other enemies, like if you look away from them off camera and then you suddenly look at them, sometimes you'll just see them hopping in the air. This is why if like you're running upstairs and like that one like warden could possibly like just like, you know, Superman over you and jump on you. Something to do with like, you know, the way the game loads, and then it makes the enemies like do weird shit like that. Because from what I understand, it's like when you're not looking at an enemy, it lowers their frame rate. So when it catches up suddenly, it just makes them like sort of like float.
Yeah, it is very bizarre. Like, anytime you're not looking at an anime, things behave very strangely. I wonder if you could unlock the field of view.
There is I think mods that can do that.
I wonder if you could
If you could see weird
force stuff
things
to
going
stay
on.
loaded. Yeah, like that would be so crazy. So we have what, an hour and a half before the next group starts.
Indeed, we do. So I think because like we're really not going to have a whole lot to fill that, and it'll give us some time to set some things up. We're gonna go ahead and raid somebody up.
Ooh, who are we going to raid?
Let's see. It's a good question. Man, I just pulled up my own stream. That's weird.
Let's raid OG Junkyard.
Let's raid OG Junkyard. Yeah.
Actually, that's a good point. We could raid Squilla.
Even in the Distraction Crab, and sounds tricky. We have 3 of our upcoming runners who are live now, so we could raid one of them.
We do.
Would it be showing favoritism to raid one? Can we split the raid?
Imagine if you could. I thought about that before, actually. Like if you could split it into 2 streams at least, that'd be kind of convoluted how you would set that up. But
raid Bree or Milky? Do y'all want to raid Bree or Milky?
Bree's doing Dark Souls 2. Ooh.
Let's see.
We got
Let's see. Man, oh man, oh man. We could raid. Who was doing Dark Souls 3? I'm looking at it.
Let's see here. We got Squilla Killer. We got Rebs. Rebs is playing Dark Souls 3 as well.
Let me take a look real fast. But Rebs is apparently playing Dark Souls 3 a little bit tipsy and laying on a bed, apparently.
Really?
Yeah, let's raid up Rebs.
That sounds like fun.
It'll be a blast.
So,
what time are we starting up again, Junkie?
Okay, so we are going to be starting in about an hour and 20 minutes. We'll get started a little bit earlier, just to have like the turn up and the stream up and running and iron out any issues. But so far it's been a fantastic stream. But let's here in just over an hour and 10 minutes. That's whenever the stream will go live, around 12:50 p.m. Pacific time. So we're gonna go ahead and raid Rebs, and then we'll kick up the stream again in just over an hour.
Yep, so be sure to tune in for that. And as a reminder to you guys, our runners are going to be Gino Machino, Sounds Tricky, Distraction Crab, and Eden Issue. So you will not want to miss that. Lots of really talented people going to be here. Who are our casters. We're gonna have No Hit Jerome casting.
We have
I'll be casting.
Burnout
Junkie will be
Pixie as
here.
well.
Burnout Pixie, lovely moderator in the chat here.
Indeed.
So lots of hype going to be happening this afternoon. So yeah, guys, thank you so much for all of the support. It really, really means a lot.
Yeah, for sure. It's been fantastic. The follows, the gift subs, everything, the raids, it's all been wonderful. And we're definitely going to hold more tournaments in the future. So we want to know kind of what people want to see, what types of runs, what types of games, that kind of thing. So if you have any ideas, feel free to send to either myself or Zero Salt Show. And we'll definitely see what we can do to get that incorporated in our future tournaments. But let's go ahead and,
absolutely.
and raid Rebs now. I'll go ahead and kick that off. And
you guys, be sure to follow up all of these runners, all of these commentators.
For sure.
Really amazing streamers.
Yeah. So here is the link for all of the runners, and also here is the link for the casters as well, because they've been absolutely fantastic. So that being
been okay.
All right, folks.
I appreciate the words. I do.
We are going
Thank you. Guys, thank you so much for setting this up, and everybody in chat, thank you for being here. This has been a great time.
Indeed. All right, so let's go ahead and kick this right off. We'll see you in a little bit. Thanks.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Let's go.